roar of the shells, an auditory assault that resonated in one's ears. Shen Xiaoyun maintained a steady grip on the controls. With her deft maneuvering, every evasion of the red aircraft was a dance with death itself. Finally, the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle, its patience waning, folded its wings. Shen Xiaoyun's eyes lit up at the sight. As the beast's claws grazed the aircraft's exterior, a sly smile crept across her lips. The barrier was gone. Her gaze hardened instantly, and she commanded, Shuema, prepare yourself. Countdown begins. 3. The aircraft's engines roared to life, propelling it into a rapid descent. From the rooftop, the mecha adorned with purple and gold rose patterns unleashed its assault. The countdown commenced. Li Shuema's clenched hand relaxed as she leaned forward once more. She observed the NPC Xiao Wanqin, who had already launched her attack, suppressing her own urge to strike. She placed her faith in Xiaoyun, awaiting that final command. She forcefully spread her hands, poised to initiate the impending assault. At that moment, the crimson and golden rose-patterned mech unleashed its ammunition, striking precisely upon the back of the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. A pained howl erupted from the creature. Boom, boom, boom. A barrage of cannonballs erupted simultaneously from the rose-engraved mech, resembling a blooming rose, fervently alive in its deadly intent. Shen Xiaoyun deftly maneuvered the aircraft, altering its trajectory. As the aircraft shifted direction, the mech's artillery adjusted in tandem. Squad 06, splendid work, came the somewhat subdued yet exhilarated voice of Xia Fupa through the earpiece. Shen Xiaoyun gazed at the rose-engraved mech, her lips curling into a proud smile. After so many collaborations, I know exactly what you desire. Shen Xiaoyun's gaze deepened, her voice becoming grave too. Xia Xingyu and Zhu Yuanyao halted their run, lifting their heads to the sky, where an exhilarating and tense hunt unfolded. I can't see anything. Why am I the only one without a mech? Zhuang Yuezha listened intently to the countdown echoing in the group chat, his back prickling with tension. Yet, he saw nothing. Gritting his teeth, he abandoned his climb. He found a windowsill to stand on, peering into the distant fireworks. The audience on StarNet was equally electrified, their spines tingling with excitement. From their all-encompassing perspective, they missed nothing. Damn. This makes me want to grab a gun and join in. It can still fly. That aircraft can still fly. I thought she was going to crash after being hit by the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Who would have imagined she was setting a trap? The Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast is indeed formidable. Previously, it was already impressive for a team to hunt just one. Let me in. Let me in. I can shoot. I declare, today my ancestor embodies both wisdom and beauty. I love you. I can't take it anymore. My heart is racing. It's my first time watching a team match with such fervor. Chapter 212. Is the X-Flame team still recruiting? Xiao Wanquan is so cool. She truly knows how to seize the moment. Who designed this map? They captured Xia Laozu's abilities perfectly. It must be that I'm your ancestor and the NPC coordinate so seamlessly. The members of the Blizzard Gathering team looked toward the distance. They were farther away, witnessing an aircraft on the brink of destruction by the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Blizzard Gatheringly. Too bad we're too far away, otherwise. We could have taken the opportunity to slay that Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Blizzard Gathering Xiaoyu. Indeed. Who would have thought the NPC could pressure the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast to this extent? Fortunately, we didn't TC I'm your ancestor. This time. We missed out on the spoils, and the X-Flame team surely won't catch up either. Blizzard Gathering Zhang. What a pity for that eagle-walking NPC. At this moment, Xia Xingyu and Zhu Yuanyao fixated on the descending crimson aircraft. Is Xia Wanquan about to slay the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast? Xia Xingyu gasped for breath, her heart pounding with anxiety. It's almost there. Li Shuema gritted her teeth, her gaze intensely fixed on the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. She awaited the final countdown from Shen Xiaoyun. Shen Xiaoyun meticulously adjusted the angle of the aircraft according to her previously calculated trajectory. No, Xiaoyun, it's veering off course, exclaimed Xia Xingyu, unable to contain her alarm as she observed the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast attempting to flee under Xia Wanqin's relentless assault. Shen Xiaoyun remained silent. She too had noticed the beast's deviation. A cold smile crept across her lips as she propped one leg on the control panel, leaning her body against the cannon. The aircraft trembled as it ascended, the cannon shifted, and the trigger was pulled. The Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast, forced to adjust, altered its angle in response to the attacks from both sides. Its body turned 90 degrees, positioning its wings and abdomen directly towards Li Shuema. Observing this, Shen Xiaoyun's narrowed eyes relaxed. She glanced at Li Shuema's position, a smile gradually forming on her lips. In an instant, she released her grip on the control panel, and the aircraft surged upward from its descent. Li Shuema's cannon was aimed precisely at the underside of the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast's tail. Shen Xiaoyun surveyed the scene from above, commanding fiercely, fire. Li Shuema, though worried as she glanced at the red aircraft still perilously close to the beast, did not hesitate to unleash her long-awaited attack. Taking a deep breath, she pressed down with both hands. More shells erupted from the mech's cannon than the violet-red eagle had just released. Boom, boom, boom. The barrage of shells struck the abdomen and wing joints of the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. In that moment, the creature transformed into a massive fireball, which exploded violently. The haunting cries of the beast were engulfed by the crimson flames and thick black smoke. Amidst the billowing smoke, charred feathers and crimson flesh scattered in all directions. Xia Xingyu and Zhu Yuanyao anxiously watched the distant smoke, questioning the whereabouts of the red aircraft. Xiaoyun, damn it, we're going to be disqualified. Why launch the attack now? Xiaoyun isn't escaped yet. Li Shuema's hands trembled on the control panel. It's over. Did I really blow up Xiaoyun too? In the thick smoke, visibility was obscured. Just then, the familiar red aircraft suddenly pierced through the darkness. soaring upward with lightning speed and an air of pride. Shun Jiayun deftly maneuvered the control panel, disregarding the flames trailing behind and the fading howls of the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. She calmly operated the aircraft, completing this perilous flight. Wow, Xiaoyun, you were amazing. You made it out. Xia Xingyu exclaimed with delight. Damn, you scared us. You were silent for so long. It was terrifying. Zhui Yuezha laughed heartily. Li Xuema slumped back in exaggerated relief, thankful that all was well. The howls of the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast abruptly ceased as the fireball plummeted rapidly downward. Upon the Crimson aircraft, Shun Jiayun activated the autopilot feature. She gradually rose to her feet, facing all the NPCs, her head held high as her gaze traversed the vast expanse of the sky. With her right hand, fingers elegantly aligned, she slowly raised it beside her ear. A gentle yet resolute smile graced her lips as she proclaimed, "Congratulations on your successful slaying of a Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast." In unison, the NPCs aboard the aircraft rose, returning her salute with cheerful smiles that grew ever more radiant. They remained silent, yet their expressions spoke volumes. Xia Xingyu, believing Shun Jiayun's words were directed at Li Xuema, exclaimed joyfully, "Wow, Xuema, splendid work. You've successfully defeated a Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Our X-Flame team has now secured 1 point, putting us ahead of the Blizzard Convergence team." Zhuang Yuezha echoed her excitement, exclaiming, "Xiaoyun, awesome," as he raised his thumb towards the Crimson aircraft above. Meanwhile, the voice of Xia Wanqin resonated through the earpiece. "Bravo, Team 06. Please continue to maintain this momentum." Shen Jiayun lowered her hand and turned her gaze towards the distant purplish-gold mech, nodding slowly. In the sky, the demise of a Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast incited the others to become increasingly ferocious. They clashed violently against the towering buildings. One particular Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast soared through the air, suddenly plummeting. As it ascended once more, its metallic claws seized a person. With a swift tug, the unfortunate individual was cleaved in two, blood cascading from the sky. Witnessing this, Shun Jiayun pivoted to maneuver the aircraft. The Crimson vessel executed a flawless drift, leaving behind a beautiful trail of ash gray in the air. She glanced toward Zhuang Yuezha, calling out with a smile, "Get ready to welcome your captain, Xiaozhe." She remembered well how he had lamented earlier about not having a mech. It was her fault for not providing one for him sooner. "Come on, take me with you. I shall fight alongside you." Zhuang Yuezha exclaimed excitedly, waving his arms enthusiastically. The audience on the Star Network erupted in cheers. "Ah, she has escaped. What incredible piloting skills. My captain, I wish to venture forth with you. Come pick me up. I too wish to fight alongside you." Did a Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast truly fall so easily? And with only one mech deployed? Is the X-Flame team still recruiting? I'm your ancestor's greatest fan. Oh, I want to team up with her for the tournament. Chapter 213. A profound sense of security. Central Galaxy viewers, come forth. Are we still accused of taking shortcuts? Open your eyes wide and behold. Can anyone explain how our ancestor knew that the money would surely strike the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast? And how did she ascertain that this attack would vanquish it? Isn't she afraid of friendly fire? I don't know. All I know is it's dead, and I'm thoroughly entertained. While you are entertained, the Blizzard Convergence team cannot possibly share in that joy. Remember the challenge issued by them? Where are the voices from the Central Galaxy? Why is no one speaking now? The competition in the Central Galaxy has only just commenced. Yet how can one be so certain that the X-Flame team will emerge victorious? At this moment, several individuals from the Blizzard's team, who have drawn the audience's attention, are staring in astonishment at the dissipating smoke in the distance. Captain of the Blizzards, that Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast was defeated by an NPC, wasn't it? Did anyone see a member of the X-Flame team make a move? How did the points end up in their favor? Blizzard's bow. Captain, my view was obstructed. I only saw Xia Wanqin make a move. However, I noticed another direction from which projectiles were launched. Blizzard's Lee. Captain, what should we do? The primary target is still hunting me. Am I your ancestor? Blizzard's Zhang. Captain, have you retrieved your mech? You aren't just spectating while others battle the alien beasts, are you? Blizzard saying, Captain, we all have our mechs now. When will we mobilize? We are already trailing by 1 point. It's a point on the Eagle's manifest map. Not just any trivial point. It's a terrifying point. Blizzard's Lee. Captain, we initiated the challenge, and you broadcasted it. All our fans are watching us dominate the X-Flame team. As the cries of Captain echoed through the group chat, Xiaoyu observed his teammates clamoring for his attention, each waiting for him to resolve their various dilemmas. Overwhelmed, he felt as if his eyes might fail him. Gritting his teeth, he muttered, "Each of you turns to the captain for everything. When you soil your pants, when you wet the bed, who am I supposed to turn to?" In that moment, he failed to realize that his usual authoritative demeanor had led to this reliance. His team had been trained to adhere strictly to his commands, and any dissent had been swiftly dealt with. Their current behavior was a testament to his effective guidance. With a dark expression, he responded, "Have you seen my ancestor's mech? If she were truly in the city, would she not make herself known? The only reason she hasn't appeared is that she is still outside the city. Now that our entire team is in the city, are you all still fixated on her, waiting for her to arrive before you engage? Do you truly believe this is a sound strategy? Are you willing to squander our advantage so carelessly?" Blizzard's Lee. Captain, your analysis is correct. Blizzard's bow. Should we target the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast? Can we catch up to X-Flame's points? Blizzard's captain. Wrong. First, we must eliminate the mech that X-Flame has revealed. She has already slain a Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast, and the others will undoubtedly be focused on her. We must seize this opportunity to strike. Blizzard's Zhang. Understood. At this moment, Shun Jiayun, abandoned by the Blizzard's team, had piloted her aircraft to Zhuang Yuezha's side. She tossed the mech to him, inquiring, "Will you come with me, or stay here?" Did that even need to be asked? Without hesitation, Zhuang Yueza climbed aboard the aircraft piloted by Shin Jiayan. He wasn't foolish enough to remain alone in this place with no future. Throughout the journey, he witnessed an NPC piloting a mech being violently torn apart by the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. This formidable creature was too brutal for him to face alone. So following closely behind Xiao Yun was undoubtedly the best course of action. Shun Jiaoyun nodded in agreement, as she too required someone to assist her in attacking from the aircraft. Although this competition allowed for leveraging the NPC's strength against the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast, it also posed the risk of the NPC claiming the glory for the kill. There was a genuine possibility that amidst the battle, the beast would fall to the NPC's might, leaving her with nothing to show for her efforts. Thus, having Zhuang Yuze by her side would enable her to better navigate the situation. At that moment, seated in the aircraft, Zhuang Yuze felt an overwhelming sense of security. By the heavens, it was the second round of the team competition, and he had finally become the first in the group to be near Xiao Yun. He smugly announced to the group chat, "My captain has summoned me. Hee. The seat cushions here are delightful, the aircraft's finish is sleek, and the engravings are exquisite. I never imagined an aircraft could be so captivating." Meanwhile, Zhu Yuan Yao and Xia Xingyu, who were making their way to Li Xuanmo's position, couldn't help but roll their eyes in unison. Xia Xingyu gritted her teeth, feeling no envy towards Zhuang Yuze for being with Xiao Yun. Oh, she was not at all jealous of his opportunity to ride in Xiao Yun's aircraft. She was determined to confront the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Today, she would do whatever it took to score a point. Zhuang Yuze, caressing the leather seat, continued with a grin, "Of course. The appearance of the aircraft is not the main point. What I truly wish to convey is that this time, I shall not be the first to be eliminated from the team." Seated beside Xiao Yun, my sense of security is unparalleled. Zhu Yuanyao shook her head, acknowledging his enthusiasm. "You better not be the first to go." With an air of curiosity, Zhuang Yuze stood up, exploring the antique aircraft. Just then, Shin Zhao Yun took control of the aircraft, which suddenly shot upwards like a rocket launching into outer space. Whoa! Zhuang Yuze stumbled and fell to the ground. The poor fellow, on his inaugural flight in Shun Zhao Yun's aircraft, was oblivious to her piloting prowess, which even NPCs feared. Wow! Zhuang Yuze clutched the armrests, feeling his stomach churn. Meanwhile, the NPCs beside him had huddled together like quails, casting sympathetic glances in his direction. As if to console him, they babbled incoherently. "What? Don't worry. My driving skills are top-notch. I assure you, you'll feel completely secure." Shin Zhaoyan confidently maneuvered the steering wheel, her sense of rhythm akin to that of a DJ. Zhuang Yuze, with a pitiful outstretched left hand towards her, whimpered, "Little Yun, slow down please." Chapter 214. Find two more people slow? You think the aircraft is slow? Why didn't you say so earlier? Upon hearing Zhuang Yuze's remark, Shin Zhaoyan's eyes sparkled with excitement. She had just been particularly considerate of Zhuang Yueza, striving to provide him with a profound sense of security, fearing he might struggle to adapt to her pace, and thus she restrained her skills. However, it now appeared that she had underestimated her companion. Who could have imagined that after living 2 lifetimes, she would encounter someone who revels in soaring through the skies just as she does? Given this, how could she possibly disappoint Zhuang Yueza? Shin Zhaoyan straightened her posture, lifted her chin, and pressed a button with determination, pushing the aircraft's engine to its limits. With a swift whoosh, the aircraft shot up vertically. Zhuang Yueza reached out. At that moment, Shin Zhaoyan excitedly spun the steering wheel twice, the aircraft flamboyantly executing 2 complete rotations in the air. With heartfelt sincerity, she declared, "Zhuang Yueza, I will not let you down." Xia Xingyu, from the group chat, could no longer contain her envy and exclaimed, "Wow, Zhuang Yueza, you are truly lucky." Zhuang Yueza, overwhelmed, collapsed onto the floor, choking out, "Slow down. I'm going to faint." Meanwhile, the NPCs gazed at Shun Zhaoyan in trepidation from the cockpit. Disappointed, Shin Zhaoyan turned around, only to find Zhuang Yueza sprawled on the floor, utterly defeated. "Oh no, my teammate is going to faint from my driving." Shin Zhaoyan quickly adjusted the aircraft. What was meant to be exhilarating flying was clearly too much for Zhuang Yueza to handle. The captain was still watching the live stream. If the captain saw Zhuang Yueza fainting due to her actions rather than the beasts, she would certainly face a barrage of reprimands. Shin Zhaoyan nervously glanced upwards, wondering if the captain had noticed. "What is happening over there?" Xia Xingyu inquired curiously from the group chat. Gasping for breath, Zhuang Yueza climbed back to his seat, awestruck. "The way Xiaoyan pilots the aircraft is terrifying. I just experienced motion sickness for the first time in my life. No wonder she dares to engage beasts while flying. With the speed and trajectory they had just demonstrated, what beast could possibly keep up?" TCH. Understanding the situation, Xia Xingyu hissed at Zhuang Yueza before adding, "Weren't you the one showing off by climbing aboard? If you're so capable, why don't you come down now?" "No way. Once you're on my aircraft, there's no turning back." Gripping the steering wheel, Shun Zhaoyan cautioned everyone on board, "Please brace yourselves. We are about to embark on another exhilarating flight." Zhuang Yueza, who had been resting his eyes, was startled into alertness. As he looked ahead, he spotted 2 Nine Heavens Blue Eagles soaring towards them. His eyes widened in alarm, and he clutched his pants tightly. "They're seeking revenge. This is perfect, it's all points." Shun Zhaoyan realized that the death of 1 Nine Heavens Blue Eagle had attracted the attention of 2 more. "Oh no, this is thrilling. I might be the first to be eliminated," Zhuang Yueza murmured, fully aware he had boarded a perilous vessel. He was naive to think he would feel secure by Xiaoyan's side. "Raise your weapons, and prepare to charge," Shin Zhaoyan exclaimed excitedly. As the 2 Nine Heavens Blue Eagles approached, the NPCs immediately responded, and Zhuang Yueza hastily retrieved the weapon he had been carrying on his back. Shin Zhaoyan continued, "Classmate Xiaoza, my apologies. We cannot afford to delay any longer. There is no time for you to acclimatize. Everyone, listen to my instructions. With that, she swiftly maneuvered the aircraft, narrowly passing by a 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Once again, she found herself in a chase. Two of these beasts posed a challenge that could not be resolved merely with the assistance of Xia Fuping's NPC. A new strategy was imperative. In the sky, should she coordinate with classmate Xiaozi to take down one? Xin Zhaoyun remained vigilant, her gaze fixed on another approaching 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beast. As the aircraft continued to shift, Zhuang Yue's body swayed along with it. This time, he refrained from calling for a halt, his focus mirroring Xin Zhaoyun's. Entirely absorbed in the monstrous creature, gripping his firearm tightly, he awaited her command. The aircraft brushed past the 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beast once more, prompting Xin Zhaoyun to shout, "Prepare." Behind her, Zhuang Yueza and the NPC aimed at the beast ahead, ready to unleash an attack. Just then, a thunderous sound of cannon fire echoed through the group chat. Xin Zhaoyun momentarily froze, followed by the furious exclamations of Li Shuama. "Damn it! We're under attack by the Blizzard Coalition team. How many? Xiao Yu and I are nearby, we'll rush over." Zhu Yuanyao responded swiftly. Xin Zhaoyun quickly instructed those behind her, "Hold your fire. After waiting so long, our opponents have finally revealed themselves. Understanding their situation is more crucial than merely scoring." Zhuang Yueza echoed her sentiments with a curse. Those who ambush deserve to perish. Xiao Yun prioritized dealing with the Blizzard Coalition. His previous experience of being ambushed had left him with a profound aversion to such tactics. 4 of them. There are a total of 4. Xingyu and Yuan Yao. Hold back for now. Li Shuama piloted her mech, leaping from a tall building. Several shells were fired from all directions, indicating the opposing team's seamless coordination and prior knowledge of the terrain. If their teammates arrived, it might only serve to deliver them into the enemy's hands. Li Shuama resolved to escape, reasoning that if capture was inevitable, she would simply log off. At that moment, she overheard the enemy's conversation. The captain has ordered a swift resolution. Do not kill, destroy the mechs, and bind the pilots. Understood, killing would incur penalties for our team. Bring in the others. With 4 of us, we can handle this together. Hey, on the opposite side, why not summon your 2 teammates as well? Li Shuema inhaled deeply, propelling her mech forward in a frantic bid for escape. With foes surrounding her on all sides, she had no choice but to forge ahead. She is running. Let her flee. Does she truly believe she can escape? The thought crossed her mind. Why had they deliberately left that path open for her? Enough. I can't hold back anymore. Shuama, we're coming to assist you. Xia Xingyu called out loudly. How dare the Blizzard Coalition act so brazenly with only 4 members? Xin Zhaoyun too caught snippets of their conversation. No, it's too late. You want to catch up. My earlier attack on the beast must have revealed our position, prompting them to encircle us. Li Shuama gasped. How despicable. The inhabitants of the Central Galaxy exhibit a singular disposition, prompting Zhuang Yueza to utter a curse. Xin Zhaoyun remained silent, deftly maneuvering the aircraft with one hand while activating the communicator to ascertain Li Shuama's coordinates. Upon discerning Li Shuama's trajectory, she recalled the topographical map etched in her memory. Ahead lay what appeared to be a desolate mining site, riddled with pits and depressions. Cornered in such a location, Li Shuama had no choice but to leap into one of the holes. Yet, by doing so, she unwittingly placed herself in their clutches, effectively conserving their energy and ammunition. It was no wonder that those individuals had been compelling Li Shuama to advance. At that moment, 2 Jiotian-lawning beasts flapped their wings incessantly, conjuring fierce gusts of wind. The aircraft was tossed about like a leaf in a tempest, and the golden claws of the majestic beasts nearly grasped it. Xin Zhaoyun skillfully navigated the aircraft, narrowly evading capture. Zhuang Yueza watched in terror, the cacophony of explosions reverberating in his ears, his body awash with dread. Why was it that the map seemed to be fraught with peril at every turn? Xin Zhaoyun gazed at the 2 lively creatures before her. Such spirited Jiotian-lawning beasts deserved proper pampering, she mused, before turning her gaze back to Li Shuama's direction, a smirk gradually forming on her lips. Oh, was this not fortuitous? Without hesitation, she adjusted the aircraft's course, aligning it with Li Shuama's path. With an air of delight, she called out, "Little Snow. Just run ahead as swiftly as you can. Do not fear, your Yun is here to rescue you." Taken aback, Li Shuama halted in her flight. Believing that Xiao Yun was nearby, she scanned the horizon, but saw nothing. Yet, her sixth sense warned her that Xiao Yun's tone was amiss. Wait, what do you intend to do? Did you not say you were going to find the Jiotian-lawning beasts? Have you found them? I assure you, they are right behind my aircraft, Shun Zhaoyun replied confidently. Li Shuama's mind raced. Xiao Yun had located the beasts, and they were trailing her aircraft. Xiao Yun had just mentioned coming to her aid. No, it was not merely assistance. Xiao Yun intended to bring the Jiotian-lawning beasts to her. More importantly, Xiao Yun had used the plural pronoun they, not the singular it. Was this truly a rescue? No, do not come any closer. I can escape on my own. Li Shuama shouted, her senses heightened. While she might find a way to elude the surrounding members of the Blizzard Assembly, escaping the encirclement of the Jiotian-lawning beasts was an impossibility. Just then, a building loomed ahead, offering her a sanctuary from the assaults behind. With a swift maneuver, she guided the mecha around it, narrowly avoiding the barrage of artillery that fell short once more. The Blizzard Assembly's member, Li, widened her eyes in disbelief. What is this sorcery? How can the X-Flame people be so fortunate? Strike her down. How has she found refuge again? Conserve your ammunition. We do not have an abundance, reminded her teammate, Zhang Zhang. But we cannot approach her. I was merely hoping to disable her mecha's legs, Li explained. However, every time I attempt to strike her, there either appears a barrier ahead, or I am colliding with you all. Sangwan, I am addressing you. Can't you walk properly? Why do you always obstruct my path? risking another collision. Li, could you possibly silence yourself? The captain has already stated that your aim is lacking. So do not place all the blame upon me. Sangwon retorted with displeasure. She cannot possibly escape. In that direction, even birds wouldn't dare to relieve themselves. Let her run. The team member Zhang Zhang remarked helplessly. The Blizzard's team member Li was indignant. But I have already squandered my ammunition. The captain's words are not infallible. Are they? Is it not simple to refrain from fighting? Acknowledging one's own inadequacies is essential, Sangwon interjected. Enough of this bickering. The captain is still uncertain if he has located the mecha. The team member Bao Bao could no longer endure the incessant complaints. The pursuing members of the Blizzard team continued their tirade. Li Suinyuo had already evaded into their blind spot, yet she dared not linger and continued to run forward. While she ran, she reminded Shen Xiaoyan, do not bring the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beast over here. I cannot contend with them. Remember, I am your teammate. You cannot treat me as your enemy. Do you not trust me? Shen Xiaoyan raised an eyebrow as the speed of the aircraft surged once more. Accelerate, accelerate, madly accelerate. Zhuang Yueza, seated behind, clutched the armrests of his seat tightly. At that moment, the seat was his only source of security. Otherwise, he would be flung to the top of the aircraft like the precarious, frail NPCs. No, I do not trust myself. Meanwhile, Li Suinyuo was earnestly trying to explain. Her mind was racing, attempting to dispel Shen Xiaoyan's dangerously reckless thoughts from earlier. Shen Xiaoyan smirked. So you still trust me? Li Suinyuo felt a lump in her throat, unsure how to respond. At that moment, she found Shen Xiaoyan more frightening than the adversaries pursuing her. Shen Xiaoyan declared resolutely, your presence is a blessing to me. I would never jeopardize you, even if I were to cause my own downfall. Trust me, and leave everything to me. Having you around is indeed a blessing. This place is perilously dangerous, Li Suinyuo lamented, frustrated by her own emotional intelligence. Why can't I simply refuse someone outright? Is this the aftermath of working in customer service? Fear not, I will ensure you feel utterly secure. As Zhuang Yueza had said, my presence guarantees safety. After Shen Xiaoyan spoke, she turned to glance at Zhuang Yueza and the NPCs. Everyone, unleash a fierce assault on those two aberrant beasts trailing behind. If even one of them fails to keep pace in the remaining hour and a half of the competition, I shall reward you, allowing you to revel in the joy of soaring through the skies in the aircraft. Zhuang Yueza looked at Shen Xiaoyan, realizing there was still an hour and a half left in the competition. A reward? The joy of soaring in an aircraft? By heavens. Are you implying that I shall be taken on a wild flight for an hour and a half? Is this a reward or a threat? You are a devil. All the NPCs paused momentarily, then trembled in unison. A devil? No. Besides being a reward, one could also interpret it as encouragement. Do I seem like someone who would resort to threats? Shen Xiaoyan continued to smile. We are all on the same team. So let us not allow a single Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beast to escape, shall we? They all represent our points. I have boarded a pirate ship. Zhuang Yueza exclaimed inadvertently. In the group chat, Li Shuama resonated with the current sentiment. Shen Xiaoyan remained silent, merely smiling. Zhuang Yueza felt a rush of anxiety. Immediately alerting himself, I must act quickly. The one on the left is about to flee. It appears to be male. Yes, a male is preferable. Aim for its underbelly. We must incite its fury. Oh, I misspoke. I meant to say provoke it. Shen Xiaoyan slightly reduced the speed of the aircraft, directing Zhuang Yueza behind her. I can't bring myself to do it. Zhuang Yueza exclaimed, his finger hesitating over the trigger as he followed Shen Xiaoyan's guidance. Chapter 215. There is room for further entrapment. Zhuang Yueza couldn't help but tighten his legs, expressing that both excitement and anger were equally daunting for him. Meanwhile, the accursed Nine Heavens Blue Hawk beast attempted to escape, audaciously revealing a particularly sensitive area. His dilemma deepened. Can't bring yourself to act? A real man shouldn't be overly sensitive. Shen Xiaoyan chided lightly, her hand resting on the engine control button of the aircraft. If I wanted to speed up, the aircraft could fly 5 times faster than this. Ah, you are a devil. Zhuang Yueza gritted his teeth and pulled the trigger. The projectile struck the sensitive area of the lagging Nine Heavens Blue Hawk beast. Though not a critical hit, the creature's masculine pride was affronted, and it screeched as it darted in front of another beast. Don't let it escape. Anger it. Attack it. Shen Xiaoyan continued issuing orders. Suddenly, Zhuang Yueza interjected. Wait a minute. Why am I the only one you instruct to attack? What about the NPCs? Are they not worth as much as I am? Shen Xiaoyan paused momentarily at the steering wheel, realizing her oversight regarding the NPCs. Sighing, she replied. You should have mentioned that sooner. You are my teammate. It is instinctive for me to be concerned about you. Unable to restrain himself, Zhuang Yueza let out a sob. Thank you so much. You could have trapped me even further. He vowed that if he ever boarded her aircraft again, he would be a fool. No. If he remained close to her, he would be a foolish dog. These words elicited laughter from the temporarily offline Xia Xingyu and Zhu Yuanyao, who had also redirected their course towards the vacant area of the mine. Regardless of whether they would arrive in time, they felt compelled to offer support. Observing Zhuang Yueza's reaction, Li Shuama nearly abandoned her intention to flee. Perhaps it would be better to allow the Blizzard Association to capture her. She feared that Xiao Yun might betray her, having previously witnessed Xiao Yun's knack for deception during the final assessments. She pondered if staying close to her adversaries might provide greater safety. However, the next moment, seeing the Blizzard Association members aggressively pursuing them, she swiftly dismissed her earlier unreliable thoughts. Meanwhile, Shen Xiaoyan, reminded by Zhuang Yueza, recognized the necessity of not solely focusing on her teammates. She resolved to be magnanimous, to embody warmth akin to a central air conditioning unit that envelopes all nearby beings. Then, she directed the aircraft towards the NPCs behind her. Xiaopai, Yu Jing, Su Ji, Mi Duo, Hu Lu, You haven't logged off yet, so don't be lazy. Have you spotted the other solitary beast? We cannot let it escape. Incite it, attack it. Fortunately, her remarkable memory allowed her to effortlessly memorize the entire list with just a glance. Otherwise, she would not have been able to keep every NPC in mind as thoroughly as a central air conditioner. The NPCs she singled out wore even more distressed expressions, likely bewildered by encountering a competitor who regarded them as sentient beings. Regardless, they had no choice but to engage. Instantly, a barrage of fire erupted, igniting the eyes of the two beasts lurking behind with a fiery glow. Thus, Shen Jiayan charged forth with fervor towards Li Shuama, exuding an imposing presence that unmistakably marked her as the MVP of the arena. The members of the Blizzard gathering, following the fiery individuals, finally breached their designated position. Excitement surged among them as everything unfolded according to their meticulously crafted plan. They were on the brink of relishing the thrill of capturing their quarry. Before them lay an expanse of desolation, marked only by mines and flat terrain. A mere 1,000 meters away, a white mech was frantically fleeing, its retreating figure appearing both ridiculous and pitiable. Can I make my move now? Lily's mech arm rose, its cannon aimed at the erratic white mech. Wait a moment. We must conserve our ammunition and energy, Sangwon interjected, positioning himself in front of Lily's mech. Exley was crew, stop running. A wise individual recognizes the circumstances. You are now within our firing range. There is no escape. The mech's built-in loudspeaker blared, not only reaching Li Shuama, but also audible to Shen Jiayan and others still connected via communication. Shen Jiayan could not help but curse. What a wretched contraption. Is the loudspeaker of the mech system meant for intimidation and threats? What is its true purpose? Zhuang Yueza inquired curiously. Typically, everyone enjoyed utilizing this feature of the mech system to exchange greetings with opponents. The more aggressive would even extend their salutations to the entire family of their adversaries. In his view, such usage was commonplace. With a disdainful huff, Shen Jiayan firmly stated, in the past, it was used for team coordination. Now, it has devolved into a mere advertising tool. Meanwhile, Li Shuama, who had been desperately fleeing, faltered momentarily upon hearing Shen Jiayan's words, causing her mech to skid and stumble. Checking her rear, she saw the 4 members of the Blizzard gathering in the distance, weapons raised and aimed directly at her. An icy chill gripped her back. Shen Jiayan was right. Those from the Blizzard gathering were indeed despicable, surrounding her with 4 against 1. In a panic, she shouted into the group chat, Xiaoyan, what is happening over there? Why haven't you arrived yet? I'm about to be eliminated. 4 of them are closing in on me. Sensing the urgency, Shen Jiayan immediately felt the pressure. Assessing the distance between the two parties, she declared loudly, give me 3 minutes. If I am not there in 3 minutes, I will change my ID. I cannot bear to be your ancestor any longer. Alternatively, you might consider feigning surrender to distract them. After speaking, Shen Jiayan turned to Zhuang Yueza and the gathered NPCs. I apologize. My lucky star awaits my rescue. You will have to experience what true aerial maneuvers entail for now. The NPCs, caught off guard by the onslaught of the Azure Hawk, suddenly found themselves colliding with the window frames. Goodness, at this speed, are we heading to outer space? Zhuang Yueza exclaimed, abruptly propelled to the top of the aircraft. Shen Jiayan paid him no mind. Her gaze was fixed on the relentless Azure Hawk trailing behind them. Perhaps the earlier provocation had taken effect, as the two adversaries stubbornly pursued. With this assurance, Shen Jiayan felt emboldened to soar higher. With her skills at last on display, she silently expressed her gratitude to the lucky stars. 2 minutes felt like an eternity. She could certainly push for greater speed. Feigning surrender? How do I go about that? I have no experience. Li Shuama responded, momentarily flustered. Being a straightforward person, she lacked the finesse for deception. The raucous crowd from the Blizzard Assembly continued to jeer. Killing an ally would incur random point deductions or shorten the competition time. Thus, it was imperative for the Blizzard Assembly to force their opponents into submission swiftly. You can't escape. Surrender now, and we won't eliminate you. We'll spare your life. Don't squander our energy reserves, shouted a member of the Blizzard Assembly, as Sangwon claimed the energy core of the white mech for their own. The white mech accelerated, consuming their energy reserves with each passing moment. Villains perish through excessive chatter. I've stated it countless times. Villains perish through excessive chatter. The opposing team showed no signs of relent. Follow my lead, adhere to my strategy, and incapacitate the mech by targeting its legs first. Lily, irritated by her teammates' indecision, bypassed the 3 in front and launched an assault on the white mech. Villains may perish through excessive chatter, but we are not villains. Forget it, let's fight, as I fear the opposing team will join the fray. Bao Bao from the Blizzard Assembly muttered, activating the mech's laser projectile. 1 person can handle this. 2 many will only result in collateral damage. Our opponents have already gained a point. We must not afford any further deductions, Sangwon lamented. Without their captain, his teammates were oblivious to the broader strategy, and he felt powerless to manage them. Meanwhile, Xiaoyu, who was being thought of by his teammates, wandered in search of NPCs, hoping to procure a mech from them. Unfortunately, he had encountered rather aggressive NPCs since entering the competition map. In line with his previous habits, he would have dealt with them promptly. But due to recent controversies surrounding NPC eliminations, he had to seek alternatives. Nonetheless, he was determined to secure a mech soon and reunite with his teammates. Li Shuama found herself overwhelmed for the first time, bombarded by 3 projectiles aimed at her mech's left flank. As she maneuvered to the right, 2 laser beams followed in swift succession. They aren't even giving me a chance to feign surrender. Li Shuama's fingers danced across the control panel. Xiaoyan. I may not last 2 minutes. Evading the attacks, she retaliated against the mech behind her. How dare she fight back? Don't let her escape, shouted Zhang Zhang from the Blizzard Assembly, now incensed. Suddenly, the barrels of his comrades' weapons erupted simultaneously, all aimed at the lower half of the white mech. Striving to avoid causing fatalities, Li Xiuma turned her head, her eyes widening at the barrage of projectiles hurtling towards her. Despite her swift movements, the mech's legs were inevitably struck. With a sense of helplessness, she exclaimed, "Xiaoyan, don't come over." She might not last 3 more minutes. Just then, she heard Xiaoyan's voice. "Listen to my commands. Run, towards the left front. There's a deep pit. Jump in. Remember to bury yourself deep." Her words were abruptly cut off as she heard the roar of the 9 Heavens blue eagle beast from above. As the white mech darted to the left, its head turned skyward towards the source of the sound. A red flying vessel, like a streak of lightning, sped towards her. Closely pursued by 2 9 Heavens blue eagle beasts, Li Xiuma's eyes widened in delight. Wasn't it supposed to be 3 minutes? That was merely a conservative estimate. The real battle was about to commence. After Xiaoyun's declaration, she maneuvered the flying vessel directly into the midst of the blizzard's gathering. The members of the blizzards, transfixed by the approaching 9 Heavens blue eagle beasts, momentarily forgot about the white mech. Zhang exclaimed, "The 9 Heavens blue eagle beasts? Why are they chasing us here? 2 of them, should we fight?" Li gritted her teeth in response. "Of course we should. Damn it, that ex-Lian managed to escape. I told you not to waste time with idle chatter." Bao, with sharper perception, cautioned, "Wait, there's a flying vessel ahead. It's that red one, the one that lured the beast here. Don't let it come closer. Damn it, where did that wretched vessel come from? It's causing trouble. Bring it down too." Li immediately redirected her attacks, aiming all weapons at the red aircraft. Zhang and Bao followed her lead, shifting their focus as well. Sangguan hurriedly intervened. "No, we should retreat. The captain only said to deal with the opponents, not the beasts. Besides, with 2 9 Heavens blue eagle beasts, the 4 of us might not prevail." Just then, a brazen voice emerged from the red flying vessel. "Foolish members of the blizzards, who just attacked my teammate. If you have the guts, stay and face me one-on-one." Xiaoyan steered the vessel closer to the blizzards. Li Xiuema, touched by Xiaoyan's shout, felt a surge of emotion. Xiaoyan had come to avenge her single-handedly. At that moment, Li Xiuema completely overlooked Zhuang Yueza, who was still aboard the vessel. Xiaoyan urged her to hide in the pit, yet disregarded her own safety to seek vengeance. No, she had to go out. Even if her mech was damaged, she could not remain hidden while Xiaoyan fought. Her heart burned with fervor, her body ablaze with excitement. A wave of gratitude surged within her. Yes, she could not hide alone in the pit. She shouted, "Xiaoyan, I'm coming out. Divert their hatred, draw their fire, do not let them escape." Shen Xiaoyan shouted as she noticed a mech retreating. The 2 Jiotian Lawning beasts behind were not easily deterred and would require some time. Shen Xiaoyan could not afford to let her chosen fighter slip away. Not a single one could escape. Upon finishing her command, she maneuvered her aircraft to position herself in front of the 2 Jiotian Lawning beasts. Li Xiuema felt her words choke in her throat. Was this even human speech? She had thought that Xiaoyan had come to protect her. Yet here she was asking her teammates to draw fire. Shen Xiaoyan continued, "Zhuang Yueza cannot go out now. If he does, it will frighten away those gathered for the blizzard. You are the most suited to draw their fire. Rest assured, if your mech is destroyed, I will find you a new one. Even if you are eliminated, I will ensure that the 4 opponents pay with their lives." Li Xiuema's fervent heart turned cold, and her body felt somewhat frigid. She realized she needed to add more layers. With an expressionless face, she replied, "Understood. I have faith in you. You are the most reliable." Upon hearing this, Shen Xiaoyan's lips curled into a smile. She deftly operated the aircraft, evading another wave of attacks. The aircraft skillfully dodged, causing all incoming strikes to land squarely on the pursuing Jiotian Lawning beasts. Chapter 216. Trash. The Jiotian Lawning beasts raged, flapping their wings. Yet they remained fixated on the red aircraft. Having been toyed with for so long, they could hardly muster the energy for a whirlwind. Their sole desire was to close in on the aircraft ahead. Shen Xiaoyan sighed. "Ah, Zhuang Yueza, you have indeed wounded the masculine pride of the Jiotian Lawning beasts. Although the attacks below are fiercer, they only pursue us." Zhuang Yueza, having gradually adapted to the speed of the aircraft, looked at Shen Xiaoyan helplessly. How could she say such a thing? Who had truly harmed the beast's pride? Did she possess no self-awareness? Shen Xiaoyan, unfazed, continued to taunt those below congregating for the blizzard. "You pitiful creatures, go back and practice your marksmanship. None of you have managed to hit me. It's no wonder you require 4 to combat my one teammate. Trash. What kind of mech are you piloting? Go back to your toy cars." Shen Xiaoyan unleashed a barrage of provocations akin to rap, while the mech that had attempted to escape still yearned for freedom. She maintained a vigilant watch over it while controlling the aircraft. Such stubborn individuals were the most detestable. At that moment, Li Xiuema, dragging her somewhat damaged mech, crawled out of the pit. She joined in, shouting, "Didn't you just tell me to concede and surrender? Is this truly your level?" Sangguan, who was retreating, darkened in expression. His anger was palpable, and his teammates were even more infuriated. Teammates? She was also one of ex-Lian's members. Fighting against them was too arrogant. Are we 4 to be frightened by just 2 of them? Sangguan, do not run, capture those 2. The captain will surely be pleased with our haul. Keep attacking. The others shouted vehemently. Sangguan hurriedly exclaimed, "We need to retreat. There are still 2 Jiotian blue eagles. Haven't you seen that red aircraft entangled by them?" The captain, Li, interrupted him. "I've already said, villains perish from excessive chatter. If you want to strike, I shall." She then maneuvered her mech forward. Her ability to contend with the 2 Jiotian blue eagles in her craft demonstrated their lack of menace. It was merely a self-imposed fear. This time, we shall eliminate 2 of their members, and then the 2 Jiotian blue eagles. The fruits of victory in this competition shall solely belong to our Blizzard Assembly team. Will you truly let this splendid opportunity slip away? Bow Bow from Blizzard Assembly roared at Sangwon. Sangwon, somewhat bewildered by the shout, gazed at the flamboyant red aircraft in the sky, moving erratically. Could it be that his previous strategy was flawed? Perhaps the Jotian Blue Eagles were not as formidable as he once thought. The winds had ceased, and if he recalled correctly, the white mech had single-handedly dispatched one of the Jotian Blue Eagles. So why hesitate? First, eliminate the adversaries, then the Jotian Blue Eagles for points. Surely, the captain would commend them afterward, right? After a brief contemplation, Sangwon chose to charge forward alongside his teammates, targeting the red aircraft first. For its occupants had been particularly insufferable. He called out to Zhang Zhang, "Forget about that battered mech. Let's strike the aircraft above." Zhang Zhang opened her mouth to respond, then redirected her course to join the charge. Shen Jiayan observed as Shui Mo had only shouted twice, yet managed to rally their 4 opponents. She praised, "Shui Mo, you truly can accomplish anything. You know how to draw their ire. My 10 shouts are no match for your 2. Li Shuemo twitched her lips in exasperation, saying, "Boss, could you notice they are all charging at you? Whose words are more effective, yours or mine?" Nonetheless, Li Shuemo felt a twinge of relief at Xiao Yun's knack for drawing attention. If all 4 from Blizzard Assembly had focused solely on her, she might have met her end here. At that moment, Shen Jiayan had no time to respond to Li Shuemo's words. She had already developed a keen understanding of the Jotian Blue Eagles through their encounters. She could now predict their next moves based on the frequency of their wing beats and the angles of their bodies. The Jotian Blue Eagles, having battled Shen Jiayan extensively, cunningly switched to a power-saving mode as they circled her. Amidst Blizzard Assembly's onslaught, Shen Jiayan utilized her knowledge of the Jotian Blue Eagles to evade various projectiles while consciously guiding the 2 Jotian Blue Eagles into the line of fire. Thus, most of the projectiles struck the unfortunate Jotian Blue Eagles, with a few impacting the aircraft instead. The 2 injured Jotian Blue Eagles roared defiantly, yet relentlessly pursued the red aircraft. In a moment, flames erupted, and black smoke enveloped the scene. The fierce battle had reddened the eyes of Blizzard Assembly's members. At this moment, Shen Jiayan's arrogant voice echoed incessantly, taunting, "You can't hit anything. How can you be so foolish? The target is right above you. How can you miss? Did you all score 59 in school, every day? If I were your teacher, you would always receive a 59. You're a disgrace." Zhuang Yuezha and Li Shuama were taken aback. They finally comprehended the devastating impact of teacher Yan Ziguan's 59 score. No wonder Xia Xingyu had been so enraged that she resorted to cursing on the academy forum. Damn, who is she? Who does she think she is, being so infuriating? Li was practically boiling with rage. The most frustrating part was that she couldn't retaliate against her adversary. Despite her efforts to strike the opponent's aircraft, a few deft maneuvers allowed them to evade the critical hits. Bao Bao was livid, shouting, "Shoot. Keep shooting. Your entire family scored 59. I refuse to believe we can't take her down," Sangwon echoed angrily. The fervor of these individuals blinded them to the fact that the heads of 2 sky blue eagles were gradually peering towards them. Shen Jiayan wore a triumphant smirk. Yes. Unleash all the firepower. The more they yelled, the more exhilarated she felt. In her excitement, she struggled to hold back her aggression. No, she couldn't show mercy. Shen Jiayan suddenly called to the people and NPCs behind her. Prepare for an emergency evacuation. Everyone, ensure your high-altitude landing gear is ready. Zhuang Yuezha and the NPCs were momentarily stunned, only to feel the aircraft becoming increasingly turbulent, drawing closer to the members of the Blizzard Gathering team. Shen Jiayan's grip on the steering wheel tightened as the aircraft swayed erratically. The Blizzard Gathering members watched the approaching red aircraft with growing delight. It was getting closer. They were about to strike. Ultimately, despite Shen Jiayan's reckless antics, the rear compartment of the aircraft was hit. Smoke billowed from the back, quickly followed by flames leaping into the air. "Xiaoyan, the rear compartment is on fire." Zhuang Yuezha cried anxiously, unable to resist adjusting his firearm to retaliate against those below. NPCs were prohibited from attacking competitors, so those aboard the aircraft had long ceased their assault. Meanwhile, Li Shuama urgently shouted, "Xiaoyan, I'll draw their fire away. You all need to escape quickly. The aircraft is going to explode." Bao Bao, struck by Zhuang Yuezha's attack, exclaimed, "Be careful. There's still someone above. What are you worried about? Their aircraft is on fire. They're doomed." Li shouted excitedly. "Don't hold back on ammunition. Unleash everything. Annihilate them." Sangwon yelled hoarsely. The spectators on the Star Network watched this scene with bated breath. It's over, it's over. The aircraft is on fire, and they can't escape. They're about to be eliminated. The aircraft space cannot accommodate mechas. They can only be deployed on the ground. But given the current circumstances, that seems quite challenging. Indeed, if the 2 on the aircraft could descend, the 3 from the X-Luminous Flame team could potentially fight against the 4 of Blizzard Gathering and win. Our ancestors have stirred up too much trouble, provoking 2 sky blue eagles. The aircraft can't even land now. Exactly. She had infuriated the 4 members of the Blizzard Assembly to the point of exasperation. Otherwise, she wouldn't be hiding away in frustration, forced to witness her aircraft ignite. Originally leading her opponents by a single point, was she truly on the verge of elimination with the match only halfway through? Shen Jiayan's fans were already anxious for their idol, and upon seeing a multitude of voices disparaging her, they immediately rallied with fervor. Who dares to belittle our idol? If she doesn't provoke trouble, can she still be called an idol? If she doesn't instigate conflict, we still adore her. Come on. You fans of hers are just spoiling her. You peripheral system folks are truly of a lesser caliber, lacking in experience, having never encountered formidable mecha competitors. You central system individuals are indeed talented, yet there are still those who can't even find a mecha. Do you think everyone is like your central system teams? Preferring to overwhelm the few with the many? Post your address. I wish to confront you in person. What nonsense. We are all keyboard warriors here. If you have the ability, let us see your true skills. Unbeknownst to Shen Xiaoyan, her fans were engaged in a verbal skirmish on her behalf. Nearby, the NPCs were frantically shouting about the fire. However, Shen Xiaoyan remained remarkably composed, her gaze fixed intently on the nearby Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Little Yun. The aircraft is about to explode. Did you not see? My idol, please turn your head. Zhuang Yue's heart raced, nearly leaping from his chest as the flames drew ever closer. Shen Xiaoyan casually replied, "It won't explode just yet. I have experience. We have 7 minutes before the fire reaches the fuel compartment, and only then will we be propelled into the air." Having dismantled numerous aircraft in the past, she was well acquainted with their structure. Otherwise, she wouldn't have dared to let the previous shell strike the rear compartment. 7 minutes? You remain so calm. Zhuang Yue found no solace in Shen Xiaoyan's words. She blinked. Isn't this basic? Those who pilot mechas must possess a certain psychological resilience. At that moment, the aircraft narrowly grazed the claws of a Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast. Yet, astonishingly, it did not turn back as before. Instead, it continued its descent, propelled by inertia. The adjacent Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast followed suit, flapping its wings and descending as well. Did they think she was destined to perish? Were they seeking a new target for vengeance? Shen Xiaoyan's eyes sparkled as she turned to Zhuang Yue. Prepare for descent, classmate Zhuang. Huh. Zhuang Yue stared blankly at the ground 100 meters below. However, Shen Xiaoyan paid him no further heed and directed the aircraft toward a pile of mining debris. She is attempting to escape. Sangguan shouted. Pursue her. Her aircraft is about to explode. We must not let her slip away this time. Li called out to her teammates. Wait. The Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beasts are coming. Zhang Zhang suddenly shrieked. Sangguan's eyes widened in alarm. Goodness. It's a hurricane. No, these two Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beasts can unleash a hurricane. Why didn't they do so earlier? Were their combat abilities diminished by the terrain? As he watched the swirling sand and dust ascend to the skies, Sangguan finally grasped the situation. Enraged, he exclaimed, she has escaped. Did you do this on purpose? You left these two Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beasts for us while you fled? You despicable, shameless individual. What is your name? Tell me your name. After being suppressed by Shen Xiaoyan for an extended period, the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle beast unleashed its full power, eliminating the greatest threat. They were ready to release their pent-up fury. The winds and sands converged upon the blizzard, gathering a few individuals. Let us flee. We cannot escape. Attack them. Their stamina has evidently diminished significantly. Let us strike. The 4 of us can prevail. Li, quickly target the head of the one on the left. Li, the one on the right is coming as well. Focus on the left one first. Hurry. The blizzard gathering of individuals was thrown into disarray, turning into a chaotic mess. Xiaoyan, you are truly fearsome. From a distance, Li Xuema, who had been observing the situation, widened her eyes in astonishment at this turn of events. Xiaoyan had managed to shake off the beast and found an opportunity to flee. However, those left to confront the blizzard were in dire straits. She realized now that anyone who opposed Xiaoyan would meet unfortunate consequences. Li Xuema, why don't you return to your pit? Do you wish to ascend as well? Shen Xiaoyan glanced at Li Xuema from afar and called out to her. After calling, she turned to the others behind her and commanded, jump. Everyone jump down. I jump. I jump. Li Xuema mistakenly believed Shen Xiaoyan was addressing her and hastily jumped back into her pit. She certainly did not wish to ascend. Yet, she couldn't resist peeking out of her mech to observe the situation ahead. What a delight it was to see those who had been pursuing her now in such a precarious state. Oh, it seems that a mech has truly been swept into the sky. Meanwhile, Shen Xiaoyan instructed the NPC and Zhuang Yue to don their gear and, without hesitation, leapt from the flying device. From a height of 100 meters, the flaming vehicle behind them wobbled and continued its ascent. What the? You say jump and just leap? Weren't you telling Li Xuema to jump back into her pit? Why did you leave me alone on the flying device? Is this something a person can do? Zhuang Yue, still in shock, watched as Shen Xiaoyan blinked out of sight, nearly losing his mind. He had never parachuted. He was afraid and lacked experience. Why hadn't she checked if he was alright? P.S. Grateful for the 2 gifts from TT, who refrains from snacking. When I saw them, I thought my eyes were deceiving me or that there was a glitch in the system. Forgive my naivete. I had never received such a substantial gift before, and to receive 2 at once was unexpected. This joy is akin to Xiaoyan selling 100 or 1,000 systems. No difference at all. Initially, I was feeling unwell and uninspired, unable to produce anything, lying in bed, covering my face in sorrow. I truly feel like a scoundrel for letting you all down. My writing is heavily influenced by my state of mind. When I'm not well, the content suffers, and I deleted a lot last night. Upon receiving the King of Gifts, I felt invigorated, like I had done a sit-up and was ready to rise. I must rally myself. I shall hammer the keyboard until it breaks. I will repay the words owed. Otherwise, I would feel embarrassed to post this thank you message. Let me emphasize, the 4,000 from the day before yesterday and the 4,000 from yesterday have been settled. Alas, today another 4,000 has arrived. I had initially intended to save drafts for the Spring Festival, but instead, I find myself perpetually on the run, burdened with debt. So be it. I shall embrace my vulnerability and find joy in it. Finally, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all my dear supporters. I appreciate your reviews and gifts immensely. Chapter 217. Am I the source of danger? I have come to understand that in moments of peril, you are the most reliable, yet in times of safety, you become the source of danger. Zhuang Yue, with a nervous leg shake, closed his eyes and let out a soul-stirring cry. Shen Xiaoyan, hearing his words through the earpiece, accepted them with delight. She had heard similar sentiments countless times 3 centuries ago. To think that Zixiao still found her dependable, was she really worthy of such an accolade? This praise was rather high. With a hint of joy, she responded, "Thank you for the compliment. So will you jump or not? If you don't jump soon, the aircraft will explode. Do you wish to meet your end prematurely? Even the NPCs have jumped." Goodness, even the NPCs had vanished in the blink of an eye. Zhuang Yueze looked back, only to discover he was the sole occupant left aboard the aircraft. The flames were already creeping inward. Shen Jiayun adjusted the descent trajectory. Addressing the aircraft above with her hands clasped behind her head, she intoned, "Let me remind you once more, the aircraft is about to explode." 5. What are you counting down for? Zhuang Yueze questioned, leaning against the window frame, gazing at the scenery below, his acrophobia flaring. She said the aircraft is going to explode. She is urging you. Li Xuema interjected softly. 4. Shen Jiayun continued her countdown. You need to exit the map. You'll need to meet your end soon. Li Xuema was overwhelmed, struggling to allocate her attention. She was torn between witnessing the chaotic battle against the 9 Sky Blue Eagle Beast and the imminent explosion of the aircraft. One pair of eyes simply wasn't enough. 3. As they plummeted rapidly, the wind distorted Shen Jiayun's face. Just moments from landing, she retrieved the mecha buckle she had kept in her pocket and tossed it to the ground. I'm jumping. Is that alright? I haven't practiced rapid descents. Please stop counting. Zhuang Yueze's body was covered in a sheen of sweat. Faced with the choice between being blown up or crashing down, he decided to opt for a delayed demise. What a troublesome Shen Jiayun. 2. Shen Jiayun pivoted. The massive mecha struck the ground with a thunderous crash. Shen Jiayun adjusted her stance, vibrating her arms to align her descent. If she had to meet her end, so be it. Zhuang Yueze shut his eyes once more and leaped downward. He vowed never to board Shen Jiayun's aircraft again. 1. Shen Jiayun aimed for the mecha's cockpit door. A resounding explosion echoed through the air. Though her aim was not precise, there had been a delay of several seconds, and the aircraft above erupted like a fireball. Goodness. It really exploded. Zhuang Yueze, heart racing, watched the debris scatter around him. A sharp pain graced his face, and as he wiped it with his hand, he noted the crimson stain. He didn't need a mirror to know he had acquired a small wound from the shrapnel. How close he had come to being consumed by the explosion. Congratulations to Zixiao for successfully passing this psychological assessment, completing a rapid descent training, and achieving the rapid descent accomplishment. Shen Jiayun smiled with satisfaction, then spread her arms wide as her descent gear unfurled. Like a bird, her body glided toward the mecha that had landed before her. After continually adjusting her direction, she precisely landed at the entrance of the mech cockpit. With a swift motion, she effortlessly flipped into the pilot's seat, initiating the mech without the slightest hesitation. The fluidity and decisiveness of her actions were remarkable. Meanwhile, in the sky, Zhuang Yueze's expression darkened further upon hearing Shen Jiayun's words. Complete what? I won't be able to land. I still need to log off. You've called me reliable. Can I truly let you meet your end? Shen Jiayun, piloting her vividly adorned advertisement mech, sped toward the spot where Zhuang Yueze was descending. I'm alive again. Before Zhuang Yueze could touch the ground, he was enveloped by Shen Jiayun's mech. Sitting atop the mech's arm, he was nearly moved to tears. At last, he had avoided becoming the first to log off again. Wow, isn't that exhilarating? Li Xuema, who had a panoramic view, couldn't hide her envy. Is this what rapid descent training entails? Suddenly, she felt the urge to practice her own rapid descents. Could she request Shen Jiayun to be her coach? Shen Jiayun tossed Zhuang Yueze to the ground, urging him to get into the mech. Alright. Zhuang Yueze glanced at a few individuals from the Blizzard Gathering team. Engulfed by the raging winds, their presence was still formidable, and now that his own crisis had passed, he couldn't ignore them even if he wanted to. Zhang, you must hold on, don't fly away. Li, hurry and grab Zhang's mech leg. No, let me fly. I've broken a leg and can't burden you anymore. Fine, if he wants to fly, let him. We must learn to let go. Bao. Attack that right side Jotian Blue Eagle Beast. It seems weakened. No, he's our teammate. Captain, where are you? We need you. No, I'm going to be sick. I can't stay here any longer. Let me fly. I request to log off. I utterly detest the one piloting that flying machine. How can someone so terrifying exist in this world? Who is she? Amidst the affection of the 2 Jotian Blue Eagle Beasts, the members of the Blizzard Gathering were tossed about like leaves in the wind. The storm surged, and the Jotian Blue Eagle Beasts wreaked havoc, occasionally extending their claws to confront them. This caused the positions of the Blizzard Gathering members to shift incessantly. Observers, including Shen Jiayun and a multitude of StarNet viewers, struggled to distinguish who was who. Yet, through their various shouts, it was evident they were filled with excitement, exhilaration, and joy. The atmosphere was akin to a celebration themed around the apocalypse. The rapid reversal of fortunes between the competing teams left the StarNet audience breathless. It was the seasoned fans of I Am Your Ancestor who, with their wealth of experience, quickly regained their composure and seized the narrative high ground. They aimed to reclaim the dignity that their ancestor had momentarily lost. The members of the Blizzard Gathering are so unfortunate. I can't help but feel sympathy for them. Did you see that? How could we not dote on such an ancestor? Wow, the ancestor is impressive. Did they just take out all 4 members of the Blizzard Gathering in one fell swoop? Such ambition, I admire it. Truly worthy of being our ancestor. Call upon the keyboard warrior from the Central Galaxy who just exchanged harsh words with me. Do send me your address, as I would like to treat you to tea. The individuals from the Central Galaxy have become overly arrogant. They now dare not show their faces. Keep up the good work, ancestors. Overcome our foes. I shall procure an account from my father and order a few sets of support attire. Please. I am from the Central Galaxy. Yet I became a fan of the ancestors just yesterday. I, from the Besixis galaxy, firmly support the marginal galaxy in this endeavor. Look quickly. Our ancestor is taking action. Shun Jiayan approached Li Shuama, lifting her chin as she proclaimed, Shuama, did you see that? If they had managed to take you offline, I would ensure that those four would go offline to accompany you. I never speak empty words. Next time, you must take me to train for rapid descent. Li Shuama believed that completing training was far more sensible than being sent out as a target to attract hostility. Chapter 218. Sangwan, where have you gone? Suddenly, Li Shuama recalled what Zhuang Yueza had said. You are most reliable in times of danger. When there is none, you become the source of peril. She warily inquired, what are you planning? Is this truly the time for idle chatter? Should we not charge forward and seize the opportunity to deal with them? What does it mean to take advantage of others' misfortunes? I possess keen insight. Those two beasts and their four companions are currently hosting a party. Do you truly wish to interrupt their festivities? Surely. It is best to wait until their celebration concludes before we extend our warmth. As Shun Jiayan spoke, she adjusted the cannon on her mech, aiming at a seemingly robust machine in the distance, ready to unleash a barrage. Zhuang Yueza and Li Shuama, who were merely observers, fell silent at her contradictory actions. Who truly possesses the keen insight? Who is not taking advantage of the situation? After a long pause, Li Shuama finally found her voice and asked, didn't you say we should wait until the festivities end? Oh, I have already waited 2 seconds. I believe the festivities are coming to a close. I am also eager to extend warmth, Shun Jiayan replied, once again repositioning her cannon. With several resounding booms, multiple shells struck the mech of the Blizzard's coalition. Zhuang Yueza, filled with trepidation, moved back another 5 meters. It seemed wiser to distance himself from Xiao Yun. What a terrifying individual. He too readied his weapon, aiming at the distant adversaries. Together, let us extend warmth. An ambush. Not far away, Li was struck in the back while evading the 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beasts. Startled, her hand twitched. Let us not concern ourselves with ambushes for now. We must first eliminate these 2 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beasts. If we do not defeat them, we shall all be forced offline. Sangwan of the Blizzard's coalition, utterly exhausted, exclaimed. As soon as he finished speaking, his comrade, who had lost a leg of his mech, was captured by the 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beasts. The beasts violently tore him apart. Hurry, save Zhang Zhang, Sang cried urgently, drawing his weapon and charging forward. Yet it was too late. In the next moment, Zhang Zhang's mech was torn asunder. Before he could even roll out of the cabin, the claws of the 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beasts pierced through his body. This gruesome demise triggered the psychological defense mechanism of the map. In a fleeting moment, Zhang Zhang didn't even have the chance to call out before he was disconnected. However, Bao Bao took it upon himself to shout on Zhang Zhang's behalf. Alas, Bao Bao's complexion turned pale, having been born in an era of peace. He had never witnessed such a gruesome spectacle. Moreover, this was his teammate. Even though he understood it was merely a competition map, he was still taken aback. Be careful. Sangwan stepped forward to grasp the dazed Bao Bao. The claws of the 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beast were hurtling towards them. I'm out of ammunition. Never mind. You all retreat. Li also drew her gun and advanced. Let's run. We must flee. Bao Bao exclaimed while stepping backward. There's no escape. Shen Jiayan, observing from outside, shook her head at their ineptitude. In the face of a monstrous beast, maintaining composure was paramount, especially in dire situations. One must scrutinize the creature's movements and attack patterns to identify its vulnerabilities. Yet, these individuals had been toying with the 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beast for so long and remained in such a state of disarray. She could no longer bear to watch. In any case, the 2 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beasts had nearly exhausted their stamina. Thus, she decided to directly assist a few members of the Blizzard gathering in logging off for reflection. With the time saved, they could seek additional lessons from their instructor. Shun Jiayan charged out, alternating her attacks against the members of Blizzard gathering. Zhuang Yuezha followed suit, dismantling their mecha legs. Shun Jiayan remarked to Zhuang Yuezha, without legs, they won't be able to move. The 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beast will eliminate the members of Blizzard gathering without them needing to lift a finger. And our X-Flame team will not incur any penalties. Alright, okay. Besides Zhuang Yuezha, Li Xueming, limping slightly as she stepped out, responded. She recalled how the members of Blizzard gathering had once dealt with her in this manner. Even if it meant crawling out of a pit, she would seek her revenge. Boom, boom, boom. Shen Jiayan continued to bombard Li with attacks, holding a grudge as she remembered how this individual had utilized the mecha's amplification system, originally intended for advertisements, to intimidate her teammates. Attacks are coming from behind. Who is it? Li, single-handedly grappling with a 9 Heavens Blue Eagle beast, was suddenly assailed from behind, her burden immense. Damn it, it's me, your ancestor. The floral mecha, the one meant for advertising. The captain had long been searching for me, your ancestor. With his characteristic calmness, Sangwan turned around to see the highly recognizable mecha, his eyes widening in shock. Indeed, the captain was right. It was a mecha that could be identified the moment it appeared. It was extraordinarily conspicuous. However, the captain had never instructed them on how to react if they encountered your ancestor in such a situation. What was this floral mecha? What a peculiar moniker. Shen Jiayan was taken aback by the creativity behind the name. If only the title had not been so meticulously crafted to address her mecha's skin. Damn it. Shen Jiayan promptly shifted her target, deciding to strike at the one who had called her mecha a floral mecha. Ha ha ha, floral mecha? Is that a pun on black nails? It sounds less appealing than my chosen name, Pin Hao Ji. Zhuang Yuezha chuckled. With this explanation, Shen Jiayan could no longer contain herself. She transformed into a dual-wielding gunslinger, unleashing a barrage of firepower. Gritting her teeth, she shouted, Die for me. Captain, Captain, where are you? As Sang Guanchuan found himself ensnared and powerless to cry out to the heavens, he was met with the exasperated voice of his comrade, the irritable Bao Bao, who shouted, "Stop shouting. The captain is still searching for the mecha." With unwavering focus, Shen Jiayan aimed at Sang Guanchuan's mecha's hind leg, unleashing a volley of 5 explosive shells. After dispatching Sang Guanchuan, she deftly adjusted her aim to target the soaring 9 heavens blue eagle beast above, sending several more rounds in its direction. Once she had dealt with Sang Guanchuan, her attention turned to Li, as she squinted and declared, "You too shall be defeated. I am finished." Sang Guanchuan, now prone on the ground, was swept away by the furious 9 heavens blue eagle beast. At that very moment, Xiaoyu, preoccupied with the mecha he had secured from a set of burlap sacks, gazed at the sky in excitement, exclaiming, "As wise as I am. I have obtained a mecha without slaying any NPCs this time. Now where are my teammates? I must find them." Chapter 219. Captain, you are too late with elation. He perused his communicator, only to be struck with shock as he exclaimed, "Zhang, why did you log off? When did you log off? Why is it that 4 are hunting 1, and yet it is my side that suffers losses? Was this how Sang Guanchuan led the team? Captain, I logged off while you were preoccupied with the burlap sacks." Zhang, now offline, looked at the captain with a mix of emotions. Turning his head away, unable to bear the sight, he sighed, "Captain, it is too late, far too late. Alas, soon it will be just you alone, 5 hunting 1. Regrettably, Xiaoyu was unable to grasp Zhang Zhang's mental distress, as he remained engulfed in anger. Before his fury could subside, he was again taken aback. "No, Sang Guanchuan, you two have fallen? What on earth is happening?" So many of his teammates had perished, yet their adversaries remained unscathed, and the competition time had not altered. Could it be the fault of the otherworldly beasts? Before he could ponder further, he shouted, "Bao Bao, you two have departed? What is happening? Why are you all leaving so swiftly?" Li, hold on. The second to log off, the ever-searching Sang Guanchuan finally discerned Xiaoyu's position on the map. He called out, "Captain, so this is where you are. How did you end up here?" Sighing, Bao Bao, who had just logged off, lamented, "There are far too many questions for the captain." Zhang also sighed. In truth, the decimation of their team had progressed with such swiftness due to Zhu Yuanyao and Xia Xingyu finally arriving after a prolonged delay. They had not only eliminated several members of the Blizzard Society, but had also dispatched an otherworldly beast. Just as Li was about to be vanquished by the remaining 9 heavens blue eagle beast, Shen Jiayan suddenly called out, "Wait, do not let her depart so swiftly. I have a matter to attend to." "What matter?" In response to Shen Jiayan's words, Zhuang Yueza immediately rushed forward to retrieve Li. Shen Jiayan remarked, "Have you not noticed that something is amiss in today's competition?" "Amiss? What do you mean?" Li Shiweming replied, bewildered from a distance. "What?" Though Zhu Yuanyao and Xia Xingyu were occupied with combating the 2 9 heavens blue eagle beasts, they too were intrigued by Shen Jiayan's statement. Advertisements. Shen Jiayan looked at them, stifling a sigh. She could hardly fathom the extent of her previous failures, despite her diligent efforts. The people around her had not even developed a habitual recognition of her advertisements. She was mistaken. Zhuang Yueza's hand trembled, causing the mech to quiver as well. Shen Jiayan, still reeling from the shock, addressed Li, "Before you log off, I must impart a crucial lesson. The mech's loudspeaker system is not meant for intimidation or threats. Advertising is its rightful purpose." Li dazedly attempted to rise from the ground. Shen Jiayan immediately pressed the prepared advertisement script. Instantly, a deafening voice resonated. "Dear fans and viewers, if you have any needs for mech modifications, please contact ID number. Your idol, I am your ancestor, and I shall craft the most advanced, powerful, and suitable mechs for you. Mechs designed by your ancestor are simply superior. Opponents cannot resist the allure and are compelled to place orders. 1 individual is insufficient. 2 must vie for purchase. A single set is not enough. 3 or 4 sets are required, and if those are insufficient, additional orders must be placed. With your ancestor's endorsement, what reason do you have not to buy? If 2 are hesitant to purchase, 1 can initiate the order. If daunted by 3 or 4 sets, 1 can begin with 1 or 2. Zhuang Yueza stared in astonishment at Shen Jiayan, exclaiming, "Wow, you still remember your advertisement at a time like this?" Li Suimuo clapped excitedly. "Right. We must advertise." Xia Xingyu's hand trembled slightly, nearly causing her aim to waver against the 9 heavens beasts. She quipped, "You're just trying to sneak in an advertisement, aren't you?" Shen Jiayan raised an eyebrow. "Who do you look down upon? Do I need to wait for the right moment to advertise? I can promote at any time I desire." She asserted confidently, "My primary objective is to educate her. Advertising is a seamless task. Whether she is present or absent, the advertisement will go on." As Shen Jiayan's advertisement echoed, many viewers were amused. "I knew something was missing. Turns out it was this. Perfect. Finally, we have our ancestor's advertisement. Haha, the ad script has even been slightly altered. I am your ancestor is quite the clever touch. Thanks to Team X Lion Yin for the recognition, and thanks to I am your ancestor for getting us on television. Folks, I am the captain of the Rising Tide team. Our last competitor was Team X Lion Yin. Passersby, feel free to follow our team account. I've already ordered the ancestor's system, and I assure you, it's fantastic. Wow. I've already seen the Rising Tide team's ID making comments. So you've been waiting for this moment to advertise, huh? This is hilarious. A dream collaboration. Your ancestor lets you advertise while you ride the coattails of their promotion. Whether Li learned anything remains to be seen, but the Rising Tide team certainly has. Now I'm curious about the systems sold by the ancestor. Has anyone received their orders? Are they good? They're excellent. I've received mine. Everyone, follow my personal social account. Once I reach 20,000 followers, I'll post a review video. I'm following you right now. Alright, everyone's learning to ride the advertising wave, huh? You think you can get my attention for free? Huh. Do I not have the means to purchase it myself? Indeed. I shall place an order for the system as well. It appears that there are still support outfits for sale, which come with a complete set. Ding Xingyu and Deng Yilin were once again astonished by the sudden surge in sales. Deng Yilin remarked earnestly, Captain Ding, I suggest we let Zhao Yun promote more advertisements in the future. She held complete faith in Shun Zhao Yun's ability to attract customers. After a moment of silence, Ding Xingyu cryptically responded, she knows her own limits. In truth, he was fully aware that he could not control Shun Zhao Yun. In the map, Li was initially stunned by the advertisement's wording, only to be engulfed by flames of anger. Are you insulting me? Before Shun Zhao Yun could respond, Zhuang Yueza interjected. How shall we deal with her? Should we employ baiting tactics? Shun Zhao Yun casually replied. Zhuang Yueza followed up with a question. What does phishing have to do with this? Baiting tactics? I'm quite familiar with it. Li Xuemo, having once associated with Shun Zhao Yun, immediately grasped the implication of her words. She elaborated. Xiao Yun means that this person has a teammate. Let her call her teammate over. And then we can capture them together. Oh, I see. Zhuang Yueza understood at once. He turned to Li, stating, we won't harm you. You can stay right there. Captain. Li's expression changed drastically. She could not allow her captain to be captured because of her. Chapter 220. Away from pain without hesitation. She charged towards the sharp claws of the Nine Heavens blue eagle beast, and in an instant, her body was cleaved in two by the creature's talon. She was offline. Witnessing Li's fearless sacrifice, everyone was taken aback. Among the group from the Blizzard Guild, she was the only one I truly noticed, Shun Zhao Yun suddenly remarked. Thus, she chose to teach only this individual. Zhuang Yueza nodded in agreement. Indeed, despite Li's brashness, during this brief clash, she proved to be the most dedicated and hardworking member of the Blizzard Guild team. At that moment, Shun Zhao Yun shut down the advertisement and piloted her mecha, soaring closer to the Nine Heavens blue eagle beast. The creature lay on the ground, devoid of any energy to escape. Shun Zhao Yun's hands danced swiftly across the control panel. The mecha suddenly accelerated and charged forward, its blade raised simultaneously. In the next instant, the Nine Heavens blue eagle beast let out a mournful cry. A flash of white light illuminated the scene as its wings were severed. As the beast writhed in agony, the blade pierced its abdomen. Utilizing the blade as a pivot, the mecha flipped and repositioned itself from below. The Nine Heavens blue eagle beast was cleaved in two. By the time the others regained their composure, the creature lay lifeless in Shun Zhao Yun's grasp, its cries extinguished. Yet, Shun Zhao Yun did not cease her actions. She continued to maneuver the mecha, leaping and bounding. The blade sliced through the air, casting a trail of light. She continued until the entire Nine Heavens blue eagle beast was dismembered, reduced to a pile of shattered remains. Due to the gruesome scene, Xiaoxingyu couldn't help but exclaim, Xiao Yun, it's already dead. Why do you persist? Oh, I simply wish to examine its internal structure, Shun Zhao Yun explained nonchalantly. Observing the Nine Heavens blue eagle beast, she found its anatomical design to be quite intriguing. The creator of this map possessed a profound understanding of the anatomy of exotic beasts. The entire structure of the blue eagle beast aligned perfectly with her knowledge of avian creatures. Inspiration struck her. She now had direction for a new mecha. Shun Zhao Yun meticulously recorded everything before she sheathed her long blade. Casually, she positioned herself beside the nearest Zhuang Yuezha. To her surprise, Zhuang Yuezha reacted dramatically, as if a plague spirit had drawn near, retreating rapidly. His speed was astonishing, colliding with the adjacent Xiaoxingyu. Xiaoxingyu quipped, are you incapable of watching where you're going? What sudden madness has overtaken you? You wouldn't understand. I am fleeing from danger. You will comprehend in due time. Zhuang Yuezha had just realized that the two Nine Heavens blue eagles had vanished, along with several members of the Blizzard Assembly. With the danger dissipated, it was Shun Zhao Yun who constituted the peril. His fear overwhelmed him, triggering an uncontrollable response. Shun Zhao Yun's mind raced, recalling his earlier remark about being a source of danger. She couldn't suppress a chuckle. Xiao Yun, what is amusing you? Xiaoxingyu trotted over to Shun Zhao Yun's side. Her tone was markedly more amiable than it had been during her conversation with Zhuang Yuezha. Clearing her throat, Shun Zhao Yun replied softly, Xiao Zhe, a thought has just occurred to me. What thought? Zhuang Yuezha inquired, his tone laced with caution. Shun Zhao Yun smiled and responded, to approach you is to draw near to suffering, while to distance myself is to move away from happiness. Have you not noticed that you are distancing yourself from happiness? Zhuang Yuezha immediately grasped the implication. Isn't that a profound saying from old Master Shi? Isn't that a romantic notion? It can be applied in such a manner? It has always been thus, Shun Zhao Yun replied with a grin. This phrase, once a source of mockery directed at her, had over time transformed into a compliment. Li Xuemo mused on old Master Shi's talent. Shun Zhao Yun had treated both her and Zhuang Yuezha with the same demeanor. If there was an opportunity to tease, she would seize it. Thus, she empathized with Zhuang Yuezha's reactive state. However, I must still distance myself from you, Zhuang Yuezha declared through gritted teeth. Let it be. If there is no happiness, so be it. His fragile heart could scarcely endure any form of pain at present. It was best to allow him to recuperate. Xiaoxingyu remained perplexed by their cryptic exchange. She turned to Shun Zhao Yun and inquired, what shall we do next? Our map score has reached 4 points. Is it 4? I thought we only had 3, Zhuang Yuezha remarked, recalling the 3 Nine Heavens blue eagles they had defeated. Oh, Yuan Yao and I were delayed because we encountered a Nine Heavens blue eagle on our way here. We coordinated with the NPC to eliminate it before arriving. Xiaoxingyu explained. This was also the reason for their sudden communication blackout. With battles erupting on both sides, should they falter, disconnecting would not affect the ongoing struggle. Shun Zhao Yun nodded in understanding. She had been puzzled about their late arrival. now realizing they had encountered a beast. Zhuang Yuezha continued. Now that we have 4 points and our team remains intact, the Blizzard Assembly is 1 member short. He cannot catch up with us. But if he continues to evade and does not surrender, we will be left to waste time here. Shall we pursue him? The map is vast. If he chooses to hide, we may search until the competition concludes without finding him. It is a pity, had she not recklessly sought her own demise. She might have lured her teammates out. Li Xiuama was still troubled by the inability to implement the entrapment enforcement plan. Once one experiences such a tactic, one inevitably longs for its recurrence. At this moment, Shun Jiayan suggested, since you find it unworthy to seek assistance, let us instead engage in combat with the aberrant beasts. This is a perfect opportunity for us to practice our teamwork and enhance our combat capabilities. Our primary objective is to secure victory in the competition, while our secondary aim is to improve our mecha's fighting prowess. With that, she piloted her mecha in a specific direction. Previously, Xiao Wanquan had informed her of the location of the nest of the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beast. At this juncture, Xiao Wanquan should be at that very site. Without hesitation, the others followed closely behind Shin Jiayan. They arrived at an abandoned mine situated at the heart of Cliff City. Upon witnessing the purple-red, Gilded Rose mecha fiercely battling 3 Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beasts in the sky, Shin Jiayan accelerated her mecha towards the fray. The purple-red, Gilded mecha struck the beast in a precise location, while the flamboyant mecha seamlessly followed, delivering a finishing blow. As the long spear of the purple-red mecha pierced the right wing of the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beast, the flamboyant mecha swiftly followed suit. The long blade plunged into the gaping wound, effectively severing the beast's right wing. When the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beast launched an attack on the purple-red mecha's rear, another mecha promptly maneuvered to shield it, absorbing the impact of the assault. A smile crept across Shin Jiayan's lips as she grew bolder with each conflict. She reveled in the exhilaration of battle, savoring the moment as if she had been transported back 3 centuries. Yet, 3 centuries ago, it was Xia Fu who stood by her side, wielding a spear to deflect numerous attacks. This time, however, she would be the one to protect Xia Fu. In the distance, Zhuang Yuezha and his companions collaborated effectively to confront the nearby aberrant beasts. Chapter 221, Grasping at Straws. Zhu Yuanyao Zhuang Yuezha and the somewhat damaged Li Xiuama utilized firearms. After all, this was within a virtual realm, and damaged mechas required no costly repairs. Moreover, they still had ample ammunition remaining. At this moment, they were determined to unleash their full might. However, the situation was markedly different for Xia Xingyu, though she, too, wielded a firearm. It was a long spear. While her companions unleashed a cacophony of explosive firepower, nearly shaking the ground, Xia Xingyu stood off to the side, occasionally seizing fleeting opportunities to strike at the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beast with her spear. Her somewhat anomalous behavior distracted the others. Zhuang Yuezha could not resist making a remark. Xia, during our training, I urged you to use melee weapons, and you insisted on using firearms because of your wealth. Now, in this moment where money is no object, everyone is using firearms, and you revert to a long spear. Why do you insist on being exceptional? At this point, what is the difference between you and someone wielding a toothpick, idly flailing about? Coughing, Li Xiuama nearly choked on her own saliva upon hearing his words. Zhu Yuanyao quickly interjected. Xia may have run out of ammunition. Zhuang Yuezha's comments were undeniably harsh, clearly intended to provoke. Indeed, Xia Xingyu turned her spear towards the Nine Heavens Blue Eagle Beast and redirected it at Zhuang Yuezha. He dodged the attack, hastily retorting, if she has no ammunition, she can always ask us for some. Silence enveloped the air, as if one wished to isolate us all. Silence yourself. Summer Xingyu seethed, her teeth clenched in frustration. As she spoke, her gaze inadvertently darted towards Shin Jiayan, suspended in the sky. Did she not wish to wield her weaponry? Did she not aspire to unleash her fury upon the beasts above, much like her esteemed ancestor? Yet, she had to conceal her true identity. Little Yin was up there, and as she had stated, she could discern a fighter's style through their combat. Alas, she also possessed an alias, Blazing Phoenix. Beside her, Zhuang Yuezha's incessant chatter persisted. What do you mean, be quiet? We are a team, and I must tell you, do not be overly ostentatious. The captain is observing from outside. Previously, she had paid little heed to him, but now they were a team, and if she lacked ammunition, he would provide it. Ah, be quiet. Summer Xingyu, driven to exasperation, maneuvered her mech with precision, unleashing the barrels of her arm-mounted cannons. Zhuang Yuezha, witnessing this, expressed his delight. Exactly. Let us employ our weaponry. Yet, in the next instant, the cannons of Summer Xingyu's mech were all aimed at him. It was Zhuang Yuezha's turn to exclaim, who are you targeting? What are you doing? Look above. Your target is in the sky. Zhu Yuanyao and Li Suimuo had just vanquished a celestial blue eagle beast, and, upon witnessing this spectacle, quickly advised Xiao Zhe. You should really be quiet. Alright. Zhuang Yuezha piloted his mech, pursuing another celestial blue eagle beast. Not wanting to provoke further, he decided to retreat. Summer Xingyu, feeling disheartened, redirected her cannons. It was, after all, her own dilemma. She resolved to forego sleep that night, intending to train and have her cousin accompany her in practicing mech combat. She aimed to master her cousin's refined and elegant style, a facade to mask her previous fiery approach. Shin Jiayan, of course, was aware of her teammates' lively banter, and she could not help but glance at the purplish-gold rose-patterned mech beside her. This was camaraderie. Once, they too were exuberant and boisterous, yet now, she stood alone. Again, her gaze fell upon the purplish-gold rose-patterned mech, and she seemed to hear Summer Wanqin's words echoing in her ears. Stars hidden behind the moon can use its light as cover. Don't blame me for relishing our missions together. If the beasts chase you, they shall not pursue me. Shen Zhaoyan smiled. Today, you are the moon, and I am the star. See, the beasts are attacking you. I shall seize this opportunity to claim your merits. She piloted her mech forward once more, positioning herself behind the purplish-gold rose-patterned mech, successfully fending off the attacks of two celestial blue eagle beasts. The two mechs stood shoulder to shoulder, their synergy palpable. The flamboyant mech consistently struck the final blow against the celestial blue eagle beasts, resulting in a steady increase in their scores. One after another, the points kept rising. Meanwhile, Xiaoyu observed the incessant vibrations of the communicator, murmuring, one more, one more, one more. How do they keep accumulating points? My teammates have departed. Why should the X-Blazing team achieve such outstanding results? After Li Yi went offline, he was consumed by fear that a few members of the X-Blaze team would come for him and eliminate him. Yet, having just found his mech, he was unwilling to retreat from the competition without firing a shot. His teammates were undoubtedly watching him from outside, and prior to the match, he had even made bold declarations to his fans, issuing a challenge to the X-Blaze team himself. How could he face his fans after such a withdrawal? How could he lead his team in the future? However, he was too apprehensive to approach the members of the X-Blaze team, as it felt akin to walking into a trap. Consequently, he chose to remain stationary, rooted in his original position. But as he watched the points of the X-Blaze team steadily increase, Xiaoyu finally cracked. In a fit of fury, he shouted, I let you add points. Add points. I'm withdrawing from the competition. He pressed the withdrawal button. Meanwhile, two mechs hovered midair, encircling 4 9 heavens blue eagle beasts. Shen Zhaoyan, caught off guard, found her mech ensnared. Be careful. The purple-red rose gold-patterned mech extended its left hand towards the flamboyant mech. The flamboyant mech responded quickly, reaching out its right hand to clasp the left. Suddenly, the system broadcast echoed. The Blizzard's team has withdrawn from the competition. The match is over. Their hands failed to meet, and all scenes froze. Was it time to say goodbye? Shen Zhaoyan's tone was tinged with melancholy. It was all a facade. Thus the connection could not be forged. She stared blankly at the purple-red rose-gold mech before her. The rose-gold mech maintained its position, gazing in her direction, its left hand still reaching out to her, just like 300 years ago. Although she could not see the person within, Shen Zhaoyan felt as though she could glimpse the ever-daring and carefree Xia Wanquan, always clad in leather. Xia, the wealthy matron, must be wide-eyed with terror, staring at her in shock. Xia had always taken such good care of her. The scene before her shattered like broken glass, the purple-red rose-gold-patterned mech slowly disintegrating, merging into the flowing fragments. Chapter 222. The Watcher S award. The audience on StarNet watched the live stream with a sense of reluctance. The match has concluded. Why did the captain of the Blizzard's team withdraw so quickly? I was anticipating the X-Blaze team scoring on the Eagles' manifest map to break the historical record. I can't shake the feeling that the final teamwork between Ancestor and Xia Wanquan was remarkably harmonious. Has Ancestor secretly studied many of Xia Wanquan's combat techniques? Otherwise, how could he have snatched so many points from her? It's a pity that despite the seamless coordination of those two mechs, their hands ultimately failed to connect. Damn. I hadn't realized that studying Xia Wanquan and teaming up with NPCs during battles was the shortcut to scoring in this competition. I've learned something new. My Ancestor truly is a clever little fox. How can the match end again? Can I have a few more glimpses of Ancestor? I wonder if Ancestor will participate in the team competition tomorrow. The audience of the Star Network engaged in lively discussions while awaiting their inevitable expulsion from the platform. However, the screen seemed to be frozen, stuck on a singular image. No, wait, there is still a broadcast. What is happening? Is it another gift from Xia Wanquan? Official Qingyu Cup, please enlighten us. I've been waiting here for so long. It must be a gift from Xia Wanquan. Just hold on. The live stream hasn't crashed like the last match. Oh my, Qingyu Cup, you've truly improved. A new scene has emerged. Oh my goodness. It's definitely a gift. No, why is it a gift? Why can't I uncover this map's treasures myself? I'm already on the 3rd volume of the biography of Shen Zhaoyan. I've been driven to this point as a lone mech warrior. Why can't I be granted some rewards? At that moment, Shen Zhaoyan and her companions suddenly found themselves in a spacious room. Wait, we haven't withdrawn from the competition yet. What is going on? Zhuang Yuezha inquired, curiously surveying their surroundings. It was an ordinary room, white walls, silver ceiling, nothing remarkable at all. Li Shuama turned to Shen Zhaoyan. Zhaoyan, do you have any idea what is happening? Just wait. Shen Zhaoyan, equally perplexed, responded. Just then, a familiar air wall appeared before them. However, on the other side was not another room, but a picturesque field. Lush green grass stretched out before them, alongside a gently flowing stream. Such a serene environment. It made Shen Zhaoyan and her companions feel as though they were in confinement. At that moment, two figures gradually approached the stream. Shen Zhaoyan's eyes widened. It's Xia Wanquan and Shi Qin. Zhuang Yuezha exclaimed in delight. Xia Xingyu nodded excitedly. Yes? That is my ancestor, Xia. Just as Xia Xingyu was about to speak, the two figures turned and began conversing. Have they all been laid to rest? Shi Qin sighed, casting a cautious glance at Xia Wanquan. Yes, Xia Wanquan appeared sorrowful. After a few moments of silence, she continued. They followed me for many years, often joking that they were part of the Xia family army. Many of them have been with me since their enlistment. Yu Jing was originally in the night squad. She came to me with Xiao Shuang, saying they wanted to switch teams. Yu Jing mentioned there was a fool in the 6th squad whom she fancied. So I facilitated the change. In the dark wilderness, such emotions were rarely witnessed. Yet unexpectedly, Xia Wanquan spoke softly to herself, oblivious to whether Shi Qin grasped her sentiments. Today, everyone is celebrating. The 302nd Company has once again triumphed over the alien beasts. They all say Xia Wanquan is formidable. They label me a hero. Yet, The true heroes remain unremembered. Not all heroes stand in the light. They were so young. Su Ji's mech maneuvers were incredibly agile, and Yu Jing wielded her blade with great skill. They trained alongside me for so long, destined for a bright future. They never had the chance to showcase their talents. The Alliance has faced many battles, and their sacrifices ignited not even a spark. Everyone only remembers the living. Yet they all refer to me as Sister Xia. They have no family but me. Xiao Wanchuan's voice grew increasingly despondent. At that moment, Shurqin interrupted her. Sister Xia, I heard you invested money in Xiaoyun again. One cannot play favorites. Don't you want to give me $1 billion as well? Shurqin, with his hands in his pockets, appeared rather nonchalant, almost insufferable. What? Xiao Wanchuan was diverted by his words, and her anger flared. You scoundrel. I was discussing something else, and you come to ask me for money? How many IOUs have you piled up with me? How can you still have the audacity to seek funds from me? It's a different matter. The previous funds were loans. While this time I'm seeking your investment. This $1 billion is a gift. I have no intention of repaying it. You provide me with $1 billion, and I will organize a large-scale war game. I will set up a fun lottery for your Xia family army and include all their names, ensuring many will remember them. Without allowing him to finish, Xiao Wanchuan exploded in fury and landed a punch on Shurqin. He ducked and scrambled away, crying, Don't hit me. Xiao Shuang already donated money to me. Oh, don't strike my face. One mustn't hit the face. Xiao Wanchuan struck harder. You even swindled Xiao Shuang's money? That was her hard-earned savings, painstakingly accumulated. Money earned is meant to be spent, right? She even gave me Yu Jing's money. Shurqin seemed intent on defending himself. Xiao Wanchuan continued to rain blows upon his head. You haven't spared even the deceased's money? I asked you to dream big, not to deceive. Xia Xingyu and Li Shuama watched, dumbfounded. This was the true Shurqin, their idol's image shattered. Will my father's collection depreciate? Zhuang Yueza murmured, suddenly terrified. No. My father's collection is mine. If the collectibles lose value, my assets will shrink. Shen Zhaoyan leaned against the wall, unable to suppress her disbelief. You deserve it. Such a scoundrel to still be deceiving others. How had she not known of this in her past life? She mused that even after 300 years of cultivation, she could not match Shurqin's audacity. Shen Zhaoyan was eager to see more when suddenly, Shurqin's lazy voice echoed. Congratulations to Team X for successfully activating the Guardian Fund prize. From today onwards, any team participating in the Eagle-S Manifest map that performs excellently will have the chance to enter a random lottery. The initial prize pool is provided by the members of the 302nd Brigade. Special thanks to the following comrades: Martyrs Li Xiaopi, Yu Jing, Su Ji, Mi Duo, Hu Lu, Hu Xiaoshuang, Song Xinghe, and Xin Feng. As the announcement played, Shen Zhaoyan and the others witnessed the coffins draped with the Alliance flag being slowly pushed onto the spaceship. The camera swept over the names, and the final black and white photographs of youthful faces frozen in laughter. Xiao Wanchuan and her comrades from the 302nd Brigade stood erect, saluting. So this is the Eagle-S Manifest map? For us, it was merely 3 brief hours, but for them, it marked the final moments of their existence. Zhuang Yueza whispered. Those who have crossed paths with one another are no longer mere NPCs. Xia Xingyu could not help but sniffle. Some of them were of a similar age to her, and should still be engaged in their studies. Zhuang Yueza nodded. Elder Xia, we have seen them, and we all remember them. Elder Shi did not deceive you regarding the funds. Indeed, future generations will always remember them, Shen Zhaoyan remarked with a comforting smile. Shurqin has rarely engaged in such earnest endeavors. Our collective efforts have not been in vain, nor will they be. As the announcement concluded, the visuals gradually blurred, and Shen Zhaoyan and her companions were unceremoniously ejected from the map. While they were engrossed in the unfolding scene, the audience of the Star Network were not afforded such a favorable experience. Perhaps Shurqin still retained a semblance of pride, as he refrained from publicly disclosing the episode where Xiao Wanqin had soundly thrashed him. The viewers instead witnessed the process of Xiao Wanqin and the entire 302nd Brigade donating to him, followed by the solemn farewell ceremony for the martyrs. Salute to the martyrs. So, this is the true significance of the historical review map. To those in the Central Galaxy, do you still wish to slay NPCs? Is it not disgraceful to kill NPCs? I hereby declare that anyone who participates in the competition of slaying NPCs is a scoundrel. I am the leader of the Rising Tide team, and I concur that killing NPCs is an ignoble act. I was once a scoundrel myself. Feel free to berate us on our team account. Our account is. Do not worry about making me feel bad. I genuinely welcome your scorn this time. This last scene contained an abundance of information. Is the Qingyu Cup related to Shurqin? Those who have carried extensive historical records, have you encountered any relevant literature? What are the gifts? What do they entail? Is there still a place for me if I participate now? Is the X-Flame team still recruiting? I stand at 6 feet 3 inches and possess abs. I am quite the handsome fellow. Oh my, I just emerged from the Eagle's Eye map. During the competition settlement, I received 20 star coins from something called the Watcher's Fund, while my teammates received even larger amounts. Has the Qingyu Cup struck gold? It has always been about extracting money from us, yet today, they are giving us money for free? I am still baffled by what has transpired. Someone directed me to this live stream, but it has now concluded. Can anyone elucidate what happened? Huh? Has the Watcher's Fund award been initiated? Does this mean that from today onwards, participating in this map could yield star coins? I must join immediately. I will rouse my teammates who are still languishing in slumber. I too unexpectedly received star coins from the fund award. I was granted 188 star coins. Additionally, I received a life story from an NPC I assisted within the map. The letter stated that the money was a gift from him. I wept as I read the letter. The Qingyu Cup officials have issued a notification. The Watcher's Fund award has been in preparation. Previously, the funds in the pool were allocated for official operations. Now that the Qingyu Cup has flourished, in accordance with the initial agreement with the 302nd Brigade, the fund pool will be officially operational. Finally, we express our gratitude for everyone's support of the Qingyu Cup. Alright, in light of today's events, I shall refrain from criticizing the exorbitant prices of the Qingyu Cup tickets and skins in the future. I express my gratitude to those heroes who strive for the peace of the Alliance. In times of prolonged tranquility, we have nearly forgotten them. The Qingyu Cup has indeed accomplished something commendable. As the audience on StarNet incessantly discussed the Watcher Fund Awards, Shen Xiaoyun and others received their monetary rewards. Ding Qingyu and Deng Yilin observed them in silence, fully aware that Shen Xiaoyun and her companions had activated the fund. Although curiosity lingered regarding the nature of their gifts, the grave expressions on their faces urged them to temper their emotions for the time being. After a moment, Zhuang Yuezha addressed the group, stating, I have received 50,000 star coins, part of which comes from the captain of the vessel I was aboard. Alas, this captain perished in the Eagle's manifest map. His funds were surprisingly contributed by the esteemed ancestor Shi. I received 30,000 star coins, along with appreciation from a remarkable individual named Yang Ruining, who also met her end. However, her comrades gathered funds to donate to the venerable ancestor Shi. Xia Xingyu's voice trembled with emotion. She had encountered numerous NPCs on the map, yet she remained unaware of who Yang Ruining was. In truth, very few knew of Yang Ruining. A soldier who enlisted at 16, joined the 302nd Company at 19 due to her exceptional performance, and ultimately fell in battle at 21. Without the Watcher Fund, it is likely that no one would remember this martyr, yet here she was, receiving a gift from a fallen hero 300 years later. Xia Xingyu, though never lacking in wealth, vowed that she would remember these several thousand star coins for a lifetime. I received 40,000 star coins, Zhu Yuanyao sighed. Setting down her light brain, I have received 80,000 star coins, contributed by 3 individuals, Li Shuama chimed in. As her words settled, all eyes turned to her before they collectively averted their gazes. Accustomed to such dynamics, they bore no jealousy. At that moment, Zhuang Yuezha glanced towards the previously silent Shen Xiaoyun, cautiously stepping away from her before inquiring, You didn't happen to receive only 10,000 star coins, did you? Do not feel embarrassed. This is a random award, not determined by skill. Zhuang Yuezha meant no offense, from his understanding of Shen Xiaoyun. Her silence usually indicated that her reward had not met her expectations. Nevertheless, he comprehended that while she possessed talent, the Watcher Fund's awards were often a matter of appearance. The others, hearing his comment, could not help but focus their attention on Shen Xiaoyun. She lifted her gaze, casting a casual glance at Zhuang Yuezha. Yet, this seemingly ordinary glance caused Zhuang Yuezha to leap behind Ding Qingyu, his demeanor suddenly wary as he regarded Shen Xiaoyun. Ding Qingyu was taken aback by Zhuang Yuezha's reaction and could not help but poke him, exclaiming, What are you doing? You look as if you've seen a ghost. Zhuang Yuezha's face contorted in distress, unable to provide an explanation. He realized he had erred in provoking Shen Xiaoyun. How could he have forgotten that she was no longer the naive and trustworthy girl she once was? She had now become a source of danger. What a fool he was to court such peril. Shen Xiaoyun initially felt rather heavy-hearted, but now she found herself amused by Zhuang Yuezha's exaggerated reactions. Chapter 224, Looking to Future Generations, Advancing with Abandon. She leaned back on the sofa, her light brain spinning in circles under her fingers. Casually, she remarked, I received a bonus of 10,060,000. Wow. Zhuang Yuezha jumped in surprise once more. Ah, this exclamation came from Ding Qingyu, who had just been stepped on by Zhuang Yuezha. Li Shuama covered her mouth and gazed at Shen Xiaoyun, exclaiming, Oh my goodness. Surely the official platform for the Qingyu Cup hasn't encountered another bug, has it? It's impossible. We all received only a few thousand star coins, Xia Xingyu speculated. Shen Xiaoyun's sudden windfall of over 10 million was exceedingly suspicious, making her doubt the integrity of the platform system. Though Zhu Yuanyao remained silent. She nodded in agreement with Xia Xingyu's observation. How did you receive so much money? I don't believe it. You must be pulling my leg. Zhuang Yuezha abandoned the captain he had just stepped on and eagerly approached Shen Xiaoyun. He had already noticed the captain's clenched fist directed at him, and at that moment, it seemed safer near the source of danger. Shen Xiaoyun rubbed her forehead before explaining. All the NPCs from the 6th Division and their friends sent me money. Moreover, Xia Wanchuan left me 10 million star coins. Shen Xiaoyun never expected to receive funds from the wealthy Xia upon returning 3 centuries into the future. In truth, this 10 million star coins was not an exorbitant amount. 300 years ago, Xia had spent over 100 million star coins on her without a second thought. After all, even Shi Qin had just declared it unfair. However, the sentiment of receiving this 10 million star coins upon returning to the future felt entirely different. Shen Xiaoyun lowered her gaze to her light brain, where she found Xia Wanchuan's familiar signature and message, to future generations. Advance with abandon and revel in an era of peace. Xia Wanchuan. Shen Xiaoyun couldn't help but chuckle, realizing that she truly had become a descendant of the wealthy Xia. It was as if she had regressed in lineage compared to when she used to call her mother. Flipping to the next page revealed messages written by friends of the 6th Division. Sister Xia always says I have a talent for piloting aircraft. She claims that in the 302nd Squad, Professor Shun is the best pilot. Little did she know, Professor Shun is my idol. I regret not mastering the same skills as Professor Shun, and I feel remorse for not being able to lead everyone to safety this time. You must be someone as formidable as Professor Shun to have reversed my fate. Li Xiaopi, written on behalf of Zhang Peng. We strive so that future generations can live in peace. Have our dreams been realized? Yu Jing, written on behalf of Hu Xiaoshuang. As Shen Xiaoyun browsed through her light brain, she simultaneously cast the screen for everyone to see. After reading, they all sighed in unison. So it was Xia Wanchuan's money. It was common knowledge that Xiao Wanxuan was quite wealthy. Teacher Yin Ziguan had mentioned it countless times in class. If it was indeed her contribution of 10 million, it was hardly surprising. Zhu Yuanyao gazed enviously at Xin Xiaoyan, remarking, in the end, it's all due to Xiaoyan's exceptional strength. Even in a scenario that relies on luck, she secured the highest bonus through her prowess, surpassing even the luckiest of the lucky. Zhuang Yueza scratched his head, remarking that with such a substantial sum of money, one should indeed feel jubilant. Xin Xiaoyan cast him another glance, letting out a sigh. At times, she truly envied the simplicity of classmate Xiaoza. Ding Qingyu, on the other hand, could quite empathize with Xiaoyan's current sentiments. Among them, Xiaoyan had interacted with NPCs more than anyone else. Receiving such messages would hardly elate her. It was no wonder she had amassed so much money yet wore a heavy expression. Ding Qingyu approached Xiaoyan, patting her shoulder. We won't compete in today's team match. This evening, I shall treat you to barbecue. Real barbecue, not that nutrition liquid flavored like barbecue that you usually have. Captain, if you're treating, you ought to include everyone. Zhuang Yueza immediately shouted. Captain, you cannot favor some over others. I too require your comfort right now. Zhu Yuanyao chimed in. Xia Xingyu, unreserved, added, Captain, barbecue might not suffice. I believe we ought to include some chilled wheat juice as well. A fruit platter would be nice, and for dessert, I know a delightful place. I'll share their contact information with you. Ding Qingyu felt the muscles in his forehead twitch and quickly interjected. Stop. No more ordering. If this continues, I might as well sell myself to the Rose Club. Captain, have you prospered without me? Xin Xiaoyan looked at him with suspicion. The captain's recent frugality had surpassed even her own. Just 2 days prior, she had consumed the club's snacks entirely. When she reminded the captain to purchase some, he took ages to transfer her a mere 500 star coins, repeatedly advising her to buy them discreetly, lest the rest of the club notice. It was astonishing that he dared to treat everyone to barbecue today when he wouldn't even buy enough snacks for the entire club. Ding Qingyu mused that while Xiaoyan excelled in many aspects, it was unfortunate that she had a voice. Well, Xiaoyan knows her limits, he replied. Thanks to you. The club is profitable now. However, you have earned even more. Unable to contain herself, Deng Yilin interjected. Xiaoyan, your advertisements are remarkably effective. My system has sold out again. Xin Xiaoyan exclaimed, her eyes lighting up. Indeed, Ding Qingyu confirmed with a nod. Not only has the system sold out, but the support gear has also seen considerable sales. As he contemplated, his gaze inadvertently drifted toward Zhuang Yueza and the others. He tentatively suggested, Yueza, Yuanyao. Perhaps we could have Xiaoyan design 2 sets of mecha skins for you? I believe her aesthetic sense is quite commendable. Deng Yilin couldn't help but give Ding Captain a thumbs up, recognizing his foresight in exploring advertising opportunities. Zhuang Yueza widened his eyes in disbelief, exclaiming, Captain, how could you? I have just purchased the idol-themed skin and haven't fully utilized it yet. Moreover, hadn't he just complained yesterday about Xiaoyan's mecha skins? Before Zhuang Yueza could finish his sentence, Ding Qingyu stepped on his foot, prompting a yelp. Xin Xiaoyan placed her hands on her hips, demanding, what did the captain complain about? Ding Qingyu shot Zhuang Yueza a glare, racking his brain to respond. Yesterday, I said I had never encountered someone with such aesthetic sensibility and extraordinary artistic talent as yours. He thought to himself that he had never seen anyone design such mecha skins. One could say she is far beyond ordinary, and that is no exaggeration. Xin Xiaoyan smiled and nodded. Indeed, 3 centuries ago, many praised her exquisite taste, which could rival her prowess in piloting flying machines. She turned her gaze towards Ding Qingyu, questioning, is that all? You truly do not know me well enough. Chapter 225. The grand scam scene. It was not disappointment that clouded Xin Xiaoyan's heart. Rather, in her previous life, Qian Liqing's flattery was far sweeter than the captain's. He could extol someone's virtues to the point of blooming flowers. The others, initially stunned, looked from Ding Qingyu to Xin Xiaoyan. It was a remarkable sight, one person daring to compliment while another boldly accepted it. Zhuang Yuezha was the first to exclaim, Captain, not only have you betrayed us, but you have also forsaken your principles. How could you? Ding Qingyu retaliated with a kick directed at Zhuang Yuezha and continued. I also mentioned that your boundless imagination has infused our club with new vitality, inciting envy among countless others. Quite normal. Xin Xiaoyan nodded, affirming that this was her typical performance. She signaled Ding Qingyu with her eyes to complete his unfinished thought. At this moment, Ding Qingyu, blinded by monetary allure, found it challenging to accept Xin Xiaoyan's audacity. He cast a pleading glance towards Deng Yilin. Money represents votes. If there are buyers, it signifies widespread admiration. Requiring no further explanation, Deng Yilin's emphatic statement satisfied Xin Xiaoyan's craving for praise. She clapped her hands and said, Captain, rest assured. I shall harness my extraordinary abilities to design several mecha skins for them, ensuring a continuous influx of wealth for you. Ding Qingyu could not help but pat Xin Xiaoyan on the shoulder, exclaiming, what a tiresome endeavor. However, the expressions of the others shifted, realizing that in the future, they might have to promote their matches like Xiaoyan. If so, the X-Blaze team might as well rebrand themselves as the advertising squad. The X-Blaze team had gone offline, yet the matters concerning the Watcher Fund Award, which they had initiated, continued to gain traction. Many competitors emerging from the map proudly showcased their acquired random star coins and messages from warriors. Setting aside the monetary aspect, the heartfelt biographies and final messages of ordinary warriors weighed heavily on everyone's hearts. Countless battles had transpired in the Alliance 3 centuries ago, yet only the names of the triumphant remained etched in memory. On the official forum of the Qingyu Cup, numerous netizens lavished praise upon the event. The official Qingyu Cup has announced that the fund awards will be drawn from a portion of the profits. In the future, not only the Eagle's present map, but also others will gradually open up for fund awards. I will always come to the Qingyu Cup to watch matches and contribute to the Watcher Fund, hoping that future generations will remember those who sacrificed. Is anyone forming a team? I wish to participate in the Eagles' present map and tread the path once walked by our forebears. Count me in. I am a competitor from the Fringe Star Systems. I previously shunned historical retrospective maps. One reason is the heaviness of this history, and another is that I always ended up in teams focused on slaying NPCs. This time, regardless of victory or defeat, I wish to thoroughly understand the NPCs that were overlooked during prior competitions. Is everyone solely focused on the Watcher Fund? Does no one care about the question, am I your ancestor? Upon exiting the X-Flame Club after the competition, Ding Qingyu fulfilled his promise and led everyone to a quaint tavern. Yet, he remained true to his frugal nature, reluctant to part with an extra 299 star coins for a private room. Skillfully, he pushed 2 tables together at the left side of the tavern and beckoned everyone to sit casually. The others, eager for a complimentary meal, were not overly concerned with the details. As the group engaged in ordering, only Shen Xiaoyan was preoccupied with her communications. Mr. Wang, you mentioned that you understood the importance of finding someone to impersonate a buyer and promote the live stream. How could you agree to initiate the stream with just 30,000 followers? In the vast expanse of the online realm, 30,000 would barely create a ripple. You should inform them that we won't stream until we reach 100,000 followers or even 1 million, Shen Xiaoyan asserted confidently, crossing her legs as she addressed Mr. Wang through the holographic interface. Earlier, Mr. Wang had suddenly informed her that during her competition, he had arranged for someone in the live stream to disseminate promotional messages. They intended to have someone pose as a buyer of the system and extol its virtues to those who had never purchased it. While Shen Xiaoyan appreciated Mr. Wang's idea, she deemed the objective far too modest. She believed they could aim for something grander. Unfortunately, her excessive advertising might lead to skepticism among netizens. Otherwise, she would have taken matters into her own hands. Mr. Wang, upon hearing her words, remarked, previously, we stated that 30,000 followers would suffice for the live stream. And now you wish to alter that? Wouldn't that be rather unscrupulous? The audience might abandon us. Think bigger. If we are to do this, let us make it a grand affair. With a small factory, a product launch will attract no attention. Instead, let us leverage this buyer's live stream to draw in more spectators. Shen Xiaoyan exclaimed, her demeanor unfazed. They won T leave, currently, due to the Watcher Fund award. Everyone is focused on my advertisement. You could have that user. You press me down, tell everyone to challenge my advertisement, or claim that I sell substandard products. The goal is merely to entice them into the live stream with various gimmicks. With a wave of her hand, she expressed her understanding of the current youth. A conventional marketing strategy would surely fail to capture their interest, yet exaggerated and deceptive marketing could attract them, provided the product itself was sound. Mr. Wang's brows furrowed in concern. Initially, his plan of having someone impersonate a buyer was already morally ambiguous. His original thought was to have 2 people post buyer reviews and praise the product, then assess whether to invest further in hiring additional promoters. Now, the strategies provided by Shen Xiaoyan have transformed into a grand spectacle of deception and fraud. It is even more unscrupulous than his approach. Unbeknownst to Shen Xiaoyan, Xiao Wang, the general manager, still possesses a conscience, yet she continues, please pass me your buyer show account. I shall use my account to berate him a little and draw some traffic his way. By the way, when that person goes live, ensure he wears a mask. Otherwise, I fear he might end up in a sack. Chapter 226, I never sell counterfeit goods. Upon finishing her statement, Shen Xiaoyan was astonished to see Xiao Wang shaking his head. How could he possibly disagree with such a well-crafted plan? In disbelief, she exclaimed, no way, no way. Xiao Wang, you are well read in various sales books and have studied countless sales strategies. How can you not agree with my flawless plan? This isn't right. It's a deception towards the audience. Seated on the office sofa, Xiao Wang sat with his thumbs intertwined, visibly conflicted. Shen Xiaoyan slammed her hand on the table, declaring, I have long suspected that the sales techniques you taught me were flawed, and now I have finally pinpointed the issue. You are ineffective, truly ineffective. Learning from you has led me astray. Nearby, Zhuang Yuezha and others could not help but stand behind Shen Xiaoyan's chair, eager to catch a glimpse of the general manager, whom Shen Xiaoyan had so vehemently criticized. Naturally, Xiao Wang, deemed ineffective, found it hard to accept such remarks. As he prepared to defend himself, Shen Xiaoyan swiftly raised her hand, silencing any rebuttal. Have you actually studied the book you sent me, The Art of Sales Communication for $1 Million Salaries? Have you memorized its profound maxims? Xiao Wang felt a lump in his throat. That trivial book was merely something he had hastily searched for online to placate Shen Xiaoyan. Who would waste time studying such drivel? With her head held high, Shen Xiaoyan proclaimed loudly, I knew you wouldn't measure up. I have memorized the entire text of that book. The others stared at her in astonishment, with Li Suimuo quickly pulling out her device to jot down the title mentioned by Shen Xiaoyan. It must be a worthwhile book, otherwise she wouldn't have committed it to memory. Ignoring their reactions, Shen Xiaoyan continued her discourse, stating, one of the phrases in The Art of Sales Communication for $1 Million Salaries reads, our eloquence is merely a means to help clients address their pain points. Similarly, what we are about to undertake is also to resolve the pain points of our clients. Just consider, how good is our system? Right now, we simply wish to deliver it to thousands of households, aiding more people in overcoming their challenges. What we are doing is a noble endeavor. Xiao Wang sighed, gazing at the ceiling, wondering if this was truly acceptable. Cursed be the day he had not memorized the text, which would have provided him with a basis to counter her arguments. Shen Xiaoyan turned her device towards her attentive teammates. You all tell him, does this approach seem commendable? Not at all. Zhuang Yuezha, though unaware of the full context, confidently articulated the correct response based on his understanding of Shen Xiaoyan. Hey, I don't know. Captain, didn't you just mention wanting dessert? I'll contact someone to bring it over. Wealthy as a summer rain, he wouldn't even consider resorting to such petty tricks to evade responsibility. Trust Shen Zhaoyun. She knows precisely what she is doing. These two sentences originate from Li Shuama and Ding Qingyu. Shen Zhaoyun contentedly retracted her holographic communicator, urging the small Wang Zong across from her. All right, everyone has agreed there are no issues. Hurry and get to work. Rest assured, I will promptly post an update to help you attract attention. Upon finishing her words, she immediately shut off the communication, offering Wang Zong no opportunity for dissent. Following Shen Zhaoyun's suggestion, a multitude of punctual StarNet viewers discovered they had been deceived. Quick, my friends. Let us gather 20,000 people to watch a live stream from a user named You Pressed My Armpit Hair. This fellow just received the Ancestral Mecha system and previously promised a live stream unboxing upon reaching 30,000 followers. Now, he has changed his tune, insisting on waiting until the audience hits 50,000 before showcasing the system's operation. This scoundrel has now pivoted to live stream selling. He is tricking you into boosting his live stream's traffic, and you're helping him gather people? What? You say he aims to live stream the operational aspects of the Ancestral system? The Ancestral ads are so rife with deceit that I am indeed curious about her system. However, the manufacturer has yet to deliver, and now the system is finally about to debut. Fine, I'll also help you recruit a couple of people. What? Someone intends to live stream debunking the Ancestral system? They require 100,000 viewers to commence the official stream? This is a test of my connections on StarNet. Alright, I will seek out others. How could there possibly exist an operational system that allows a D-class physical capability individual to pilot a B-class mecha? Who peddles such fraudulent merchandise? I'll help you denounce this. Oh, you suggest we gather more people to join in the denunciation? Done. I am willing to expose the dark underbelly of the industry and combat false advertising. That scoundrel You Pressed My Armpit Hair claims 1 million viewers are necessary for the operational live stream of the Ancestral Mecha. Family, charge forth and rain down scorn upon him. He also asserts that the Ancestral system is nothing but a ruse. He clearly seeks criticism. Wearing a bear mask, You Pressed My Armpit Hair passionately addressed the live stream camera. Currently, my live stream has only 300,000 viewers. This time, I firmly state that I will only operate the system I am your ancestor upon reaching 1 million viewers. I assure you, I am certainly the first person across the internet to receive the Ancestral system, and I am willing to share it with you all. You won't find anyone else broadcasting it in any other live stream. Some claim the Ancestral system is fake. That no mecha can enable a D-class individual to pilot a B-class mecha. I agree with you. Thus, the Ancestral advertisements are indeed false. If you don't believe me, go tell the ancestor herself. Let her come and scold me in my live stream. Well, since the numbers are too low now, I won't reveal too much. Now, let us take a look at this nutrient solution I have in hand. This nutrient solution boasts the latest flavor in the entire alliance. It perfectly replicates the taste of the third variety of old white liquor unearthed from Shurqin, as documented in a treatise on fine wines. It possesses a rich, smooth, and invigorating flavor. Alright, family, on the count of 3, I will share the link. Upon hearing You Pressed My Armpit Hair conclude, the audience erupted in a flurry of scorn. This armpit hair is truly detestable. I have scoured the entire internet, and indeed, no one has received the mecha sold by the ancestor. Please refrain from promoting products. Instead, let us discuss the matter of the ancestor mecha scam. I am a devoted fan of the ancestor, and shall promptly rally our troops to vehemently criticize you for exploiting the ancestor's popularity while disparaging her reputation. With an audience of 350,000, might we cease the commercial endeavors? Previously, you claimed there were 30,000 followers, and you would immediately broadcast the mecha operations. Then you stated 50,000, 100,000, and after reaching 100,000, you proclaimed that 1 million was required for the mecha system to be live-streamed. Will you then, upon achieving 1 million, demand 2 million viewers before demonstrating the mecha operations? The mecha system used in the ancestor's competition is indeed hers. Why do you not trust her? You insist on waiting for this deceptive influencer's broadcast. The reason for your skepticism towards the ancestor is that she too engages in selling products. Can one fully trust the rhetoric of a salesperson? As Shen Zhaoyun savored her skewers, she observed your live stream, where you pressed down on my armpit hair. She could not help but exclaim, Xiao Wang, from where did you procure this armpit hair? Just look at his eloquence and his composed demeanor. He is far more reliable than Xiao Wang. After finishing a skewer, Shen Zhaoyun took out her holographic device to share this influencer's account on her social media, leaving a comment as well. Some claim that the mecha system I sell is a fraud. If you are curious, feel free to take a look. I never advertise counterfeit goods. If I were to sell fakes, all my followers would lose 100 star coins tonight. Chapter 227. Show some kindness to your fans upon posting this comment. Shen Zhaoyun was immediately flooded with responses from her followers. What a decent individual, yet he has such a mouth. Ancestor, I beseech you, please refrain from speaking. I implore you. I am at a loss. Should I first scold the ancestor or head to that armpit hair live stream to berate him? Oh, I am so moved. The ancestor remains true to herself and does not treat us differently despite her increasing number of fans. Haha, you reap what you sow. You must bear the consequences. Well, I am accustomed to it. I shall first switch from fan to critic for a while, and then back again. Oh no. You said I would lose 10,000 star coins. I am unafraid. However, 100 star coins I truly possess. Ancestor, you had better not sell counterfeit goods. Ancestor, just wait. I have stockpiled 8 bags of water bottles, exclusively for you. Oh, how did you know I only have 100 star coins? Darn, I've truly run out of my 100 star coins. My 120 star coins are gone. Oh no, ancestor, if you are selling fakes. I have lost 150 star coins. Alright, Your vows are such that you will not incur losses, whether true or false. Have they begun to manifest? Just as Shen Xiaoyun was about to put down her holographic device, Li Shuima across from her said softly, Xiaoyun, today coincidentally, I was charged 100 star coins for communication fees. Shen Xiaoyun's holographic device vibrated simultaneously, receiving a deduction notification from the communication company. Monthly deduction reminder. You have been charged 999 star coins. Your available balance is insufficient. Please recharge. Shen Xiaoyun rubbed her forehead, her lips twitching, alas. Her tongue seemed to have been blessed today. Had I known this would be the case, I would have requested 1,000 star coins. Ding Qingyu gazed earnestly at Shen Xiaoyun and advised, Little Yun, you ought to be kinder to your fans. They have purchased quite a number of your support outfits. Shen Xiaoyun took a bite of her skewer, casting a glance at the captain before swallowing her food and nodding in agreement. All right, next time, I swear to declare that if I speak falsely, I shall deduct 10,000 star coins from each of my teammates. Cough. Others either gasped in shock or choked, spraying their drinks in surprise. Ding Qingyu disdainfully wiped the sleeve of his shirt, which had been splattered by Zhuang Yueza's outburst, and fell silent. Deng Yilin shot a glance at Shen Xiaoyun, then contemplatively at Captain Ding. The tavern chosen by Ding Qingyu was surprisingly crowded. Shen Xiaoyun overheard discussions around her, most of which revolved around mech solo units. Many were sharing tales of their adventures in teams, recounting encounters with exotic beasts, and how they had displayed their prowess to survive perilous situations. At that moment, a loud voice from a nearby table exclaimed, Our Luotian star has produced a team that has garnered significant attention. Although merely an A-class team, they have entered the top 500 on the popularity chart, surpassing many S-class teams. Scarface, are you living in the Stone Age? How many here are unaware of the X-Inferno team? Another chimed in, just last night. I defended our fringe star system against those pompous Central System folk in a verbal battle on behalf of the X-Inferno team. You wouldn't believe how satisfying it was to see them rendered speechless. The atmosphere shifted as another table joined the conversation, and the Watcher Fund Award has been activated. Did you all catch the X-Inferno team's match today? They executed it splendidly. Clearly, the mention of the X-Inferno team captivated everyone, and many eagerly joined in the discussion. The previously quiet tavern suddenly thrummed with lively chatter. The members of X-Inferno, upon realizing they had become the center of attention, were filled with excitement. Zhuang Yueze straightened his posture, nearly bursting to announce to everyone that he was part of the X-Inferno team. Suppressing a grin, he remarked, They are all talking about us. Do you think if I direct them to my personal social media account now, I could gain 30,000 followers by tomorrow? Xia Xingyu was even more dramatic, pulling out her light brain to message Lin Qing. I have something amazing for you. Come quickly. Li Shuima and Zhu Yuanyao, though silent, noticeably slowed their eating, their eyes glancing curiously towards the lively conversation. Ding Qingyu couldn't help but smile at the corners of his mouth. Shen Xiaoyun looked at the captain, pondering thoughtfully. Oh, so captain, you didn't book a private room to listen to others shower you with compliments? I misjudged you. I thought you were just stingy. This elicited further amusement from the others. Ding Qingyu sighed in resignation as he regarded Shen Xiaoyun. He was truly at a loss. However, while he could not reign in Shen Xiaoyun, he could still manage Zhuang Yueze. He turned to Zhuang Yueze, shifting the topic. Little Zhe, if you wish to continue your studies diligently, it would be wise not to reveal too much personal information. He cast a glance at the others and remarked, You too. Your abilities remain rather insufficient. Virtue must be matched with capability. Your strength should correspond to your renown. For now, I urge you to focus solely on your path ahead, without being dazzled by the applause and accolades around you. It is human nature that if one's prowess does not align with their fame, even if they momentarily bask in the admiration of others, the day will come when their shortcomings are revealed, and they will be met with the scorn of those who once cherished them. Ding Qingyu reflected on his past, unable to suppress a sigh. His teammates were still quite young, and he hoped they would take the time to mature until their abilities truly matched the fame they had today. Upon hearing the captain's words, Shen Xiaoyun nodded in agreement. Yet she had a query. Captain, do you think it might be too late to say this? Isn't Zhuang Yueze always posting pictures of his abs and handsome looks on his social media? Oh, those pictures of his, heavily edited. Even his mother might not recognize him from those. Zhu Yuanyao interjected with sharp wit. Ha ha ha, are you still posting those kinds of pictures on your personal platform? Let me see. Xia Xingyu laughed heartily as she pulled out her light brain. Ding Qingyu also chuckled, for he knew that was precisely why he had not stopped Zhuang Yueze from such antics. He understood that Zhuang Yueze could not stir up much trouble. Ding Qingyu emphasized, Do not emulate him. He is a cautionary example. Captain, haven't you always said my photos were quite good? Why are you saying this now? Zhuang Yueze felt as if the sky had fallen. Meanwhile, Xia Xingyu had found Zhuang Yueze's earlier posts and began to read aloud with glee. Height, 185 centimeters. Striving for an 8-pack. Your nurturing system's male idol will not disappoint you. Please help me see if I need to work on my shoulders. The captain praised me today as the finest among men, saying I seem to have grown taller. Do you think he is right? Sighing, he lamented that with new teammates, no one was paying attention to him. Help me support the newcomer. I am your ancestor. He attached a handsome photo as a reward. Stop reading. I implore you. Zhuang Yueze jumped up, attempting to snatch the light brain from Xia Xingyu. Li Shuima added to the chaos. Ziege, you only help Xiaoyun gain fans, but not me? No. This time you must provide 2 handsome photos to help me. 2 photos are hardly enough. I have a plethora stored in my light brain. Yueze, you must also help Xingyu gain a following. Fairness is paramount. Zhu Yuanyao clapped her hands, enjoying the spectacle. As Shen Xiaoyun observed their playful banter, a smile crept into her eyes. She shook her cup and then drained it. Youth is indeed a wonderful thing. Ultimately, Ding Qingyu could not bear to see Zhuang Yueze under siege and came to his defense. You are all still young. A little vanity is not surprising. Oh, vanity. Xia Xingyu elongated the last syllable, dripping with teasing intent. Shen Jiayan turned to Zhuang Yueza and suddenly asked, "Classmate Zhuang, what prompted you to join the club? What are your aspirations for the future?" Zhuang Yueza resumed his seat, scratching his head in confusion. "In our pursuit of mecha combat, there are but a few paths to tread. One can join the military, another can engage with clubs to take on tasks. Or one might aspire to become a renowned star player within the league. The situation at the academy is well known. If we enlist, our peers from the Imperial Academy could easily ascend to leadership positions, compelling us to commence our journeys from the very bottom. I am not particularly inclined towards the military, and my parents support my decision. Thus I have chosen to mingle in clubs. Should I succeed and make a name for myself, it would be a fortune gained. If I fail, I can always return home to rely on my parents, and when my father reprimands me, I will have my retort ready." Shen Jiayan nodded. Indeed. This embodies the spirit of striving for progress while secretly yearning for a life of ease. She then turned her gaze towards Xia Xingyu. Xia Xingyu lifted her chin, declaring, "Xiao Yun, it was you who encouraged me to join. Your ambitions align with mine." Shen Jiayan raised an eyebrow. "Very well, you may refrain from speaking for now. Do not misconstrue my words. I too possess aspirations." Upon hearing this, Xia Xingyu hastily corrected herself. "I aim to bring glory to our academy. Joining the club allows me to train alongside you all." Shen Jiayan couldn't help but smile. "Excellent, lofty aspirations indeed. You have not squandered the time I invested in your studies." Xia Xingyu continued, "Alas, as you all know, my family's expectations of me are not high. I lack for nothing, receiving a monthly allowance of several tens of millions of star coins. I simply wish to live joyfully. Enough. Do not induce my envy of the wealthy," Shen Jiayan retorted, her smile fading as she reminisced about the days of Xia, the affluent one. She felt no envy. After all, she once had her own share of spending money. The conversation flowed, and evenly Shuama chimed in. "Sister Xingyu is fortunate. My intent for joining the club is to earn money, and I plan to accumulate a great fortune. With wealth, I can provide better resources for the younger students in our academy. However, to earn money, one must enhance their skills. Xiao Yun has said that substantial investments yield significant returns. First, I must save enough to purchase a mecha. Making money is commendable. My sole purpose for joining the club is to secure a job after graduation," Zhu Yuanyao expressed, a hint of confusion crossing her features. "Isn't that the essence of life? To take each day as it comes? The captain is capable. Working alongside her on tasks should shield us from peril. But is that truly sufficient? Xiao Yun, what about you?" Ding Qingyu scanned the group before finally resting his gaze on Shen Jiayan. The usually quiet Ding Yilin also directed her attention towards her. Shen Jiayan reclined in her chair, sipping the somewhat bitter wheat juice from her cup. "I aspire to create the most formidable mecha and, in doing so, uncover any surprises that may await me." The others were uncertain about the latter part of Shen Jiayan's statement, but they understood her ambition to build a mecha. Zhuang Yueza immediately interjected. "Then the captain is finished. She surely would not want to let you go. The captain is counting on you to elevate the team's prominence into the top 10. What are you suggesting?" Xiao Yun is different. If she possesses the capability to construct the strongest mecha, wouldn't that be more advantageous than laboring alongside me day and night, battling ferocious beasts? However, if Xiao Yun wishes to construct mecha, she must inevitably pursue her postgraduate studies at Engaluo Academy. Thus, preparations should commence forthwith. The mecha manufacturing program at the Alliance's premier academy is inadequate. Master Han Wei's tenure here remains uncertain, despite Ding Qingyu's grandiloquent declarations. His heart bears a heavier burden than anyone else's. Engaluo Academy is far from the peripheral star systems. The entire alliance comprises 6 major star systems. The central system, centrally located within the alliance; the peripheral system, situated in the southwest; the Basic system to the east; the Pingi system to the north; the Frost Canyon system to the west; and the Saihamba system in the southeast. Engaluo Academy resides in the eastern Basic system, which implies he may struggle to retain his esteemed general in the future. Nevertheless, he is easily content. Xiaoyun's contributions to Team X Lian far exceed his own sacrifices. If Xiaoyun has her own aspirations, he shall support her wholeheartedly. Xia Xingyu and the others exchanged bewildered glances with Ding Qingyu, anticipating that their captain would persuade Xiaoyun to reconsider. To their surprise, the captain exhibited both determination and detachment. Zhuang Yueza raised his glass, exclaiming, "Captain, let us toast to you. I need not attend Engaluo Academy. I find myself quite comfortable on Luotian Star. However, Captain, we must toast to everyone." Shen Jiayan filled her glass with juice and raised it toward the group. Ding Qingyu's lips curled into a grin as he enthusiastically beckoned everyone. Come. Feel free to order whatever you desire. Didn't Xingyu just order a fruit platter and some desserts? If you fancy more, do continue to order. Today, I am feeling generous." The others joyfully raised their glasses. At that moment, a voice from a nearby table called out, "Boss, please turn on your giant screen. There's a live stream showcasing unboxing a D-Class Mecha capable of being piloted by those with D-Class physical abilities. The system installed in that mecha is the very one that I, as your ancestor, have been promoting in Team X Lian." What? Such a ridiculous advertisement. And yet people actually believe it? Someone inquired with a chuckle. Is there truly a system that can assist D-Class physical individuals in piloting a B-Class mecha? Regardless of its authenticity, I wish to see it. "Boss, if you don't turn on that faulty projector soon, it will break down," one individual complained. "Is that the stream where you press my armpit hair?" That scoundrel just claimed the live audience reached 2 million before commencing the mecha operation demonstration. Chapter 229. The ambitious young Wang Shun Jiaoyun couldn't suppress her laughter. "I told you that armpit hair is a talent. However, a larger audience is advantageous. The more viewers there are, the more individuals will witness the excellence of her mecha system. At this moment, the individual wearing a black bear headpiece, who pressed down on my armpit hair, has transitioned from selling nutrient solutions to slippers. The live stream audience surged from 1 million to 190,000. Not far away, young Wang was deliberating with a colleague whether to wait for the audience to grow even larger before showcasing the mecha operation. We were mistaken. We underestimated the flow of viewers related to Xiaoyan. The audience for this live stream continues to grow. We should have informed the viewers to wait until the audience reached 10 million before demonstrating the mecha operation. Xiao Yun is indeed correct. My vision remains rather limited. Xiao Wang, who previously communicated with Shun Zhao Yun in a rather timid and cautious manner, now finds himself amidst an unprecedented surge of traffic. His factory, small in scale, has never encountered such overwhelming attention. In the past, when he hosted live streams, the maximum viewership reached a mere 50,000, and that was only after coordinating with the staff to ensure each brought in 5 viewers. The director opposite Xiao Wang excitedly exclaimed, "Brother Wang, you must come and see. The live stream has now attracted 2 million viewers. I noticed quite a few IPs from the Central Galaxy. Should we wait a bit longer?" The audience count appears to be rising. Xiao Wang hastily replied, "No, it's not just the Central Galaxy. There are also numerous IPs from the Beishikes Galaxy. Let's filter the comments from viewers in these 2 regions and see what they have to say." For Xiao Wang, the audience from the Central Galaxy represents a wealthier demographic. His potential clientele. The Beishikes Galaxy, home to the Angolo Academy, boasts a thriving mech manufacturing industry, albeit with a high level of competition. The director promptly began to sift through the comments from viewers in these 2 regions. I previously searched the Star Network for mechs promoted by I Am Your Ancestor. I could never find any user reviews. I thought it was just another scheme for the Qingyu Cup to profit from fans. I never expected such mechs actually exist. Out of curiosity, I must keep an eye on this. IP, Central Galaxy. Can an operating system that allows a D-class physical body to pilot a B-class mech truly be legitimate? Our galaxy's alliance of mech manufacturing masters has yet to create such a machine. I support the host in debunking this. Bring more viewers. IP, Beishikes Galaxy. Host, please start streaming the mechs. This is a groundbreaking invention. My father has a genetic physical defect, with only a C-class capacity. If this operating system can truly enable low-tier physical bodies to pilot B-class mechs, I will certainly buy one for my father. Is it possible to apply this operating system to agricultural mechs? My father operates agricultural mechs. IP, Central Galaxy. Puffed. I do not trust individuals from the Fringe Galaxy. I checked the patent applicant for this system, and they obscured the patent information. The patent was granted to a company in the Fringe Galaxy that produces small functional mechs. This approach seems unreliable. It must be another unqualified factory collaborating with celebrity pilots to exploit the market. For mechs, one should trust our Beishikes Galaxy. IP, Beishikes Galaxy. Laughing out loud. Neither the Angolo Academy nor the Shu Institute has achieved such technology. I wonder how I Am Your Ancestor dares to advertise. People today have become increasingly unscrupulous for profit. IP, Beishikes Galaxy. Professionals from the mech manufacturing industry have come to join the discussion and share some general knowledge about the mech manufacturing sector. Factories in the Fringe Galaxy can only produce outdated agricultural and industrial functional machines. The mechs advertised in the previous competition, akin to those from my ancestry, would not possess such advanced technology in the Fringe star systems. If we were to consider a century ago, one might have relied on the mech manufacturing expertise of the Alliance's foremost academy. However, since the decline of that institution, many master craftsmen in mech production have migrated to the Beck-Six's star system, taking with them the majority of the industry. Thus, I implore everyone not to be deceived into purchasing these counterfeit mechs. Of course, I understand that many have come merely to witness the antics of a jester, which can indeed be quite entertaining. Xiao Wang clenched his jaw tighter, fully aware that some audience members might speak harshly, yet he found himself increasingly vexed. Such was the nature of the people from the Beck-Six's star system. In truth, his family's factory once thrived significantly. In his father's words, a century ago, their factory collaborated closely with the Alliance's top academy in mech production. Yet, as some of the most skilled craftsmen were lured away by Angolo Academy, the factory lost both talent and technological licenses, leading to a gradual shift of the mech manufacturing focus towards the Beck-Six's star system. Consequently, the Wang family factory, unable to compete with the larger enterprises in Beck-Six's, could only persist in producing basic, low-tech functional mechs. Originally named the All-Purpose Mech Manufacturing Factory, it was forced to rebrand as the Civilian Operational Mech Manufacturing Factory to reduce costs and enhance efficiency. The factory relocated from the relatively prosperous Luotian star to a more remote mining planet. However, today marked a change. He glimpsed a glimmer of hope for his factory's resurgence. Xiao Wang was unwilling to remain merely the small-time manager he had become. He aspired to be the leader of a grand enterprise. The operational system developed by Xiao Yun represented that hope. The more the audience criticized, opposed, and engaged, the greater the indication of demand and market potential. Even if Xiao Yun's operational system were limited to low to mid-tier mechs, the audience's desire to purchase was palpable. Did the viewer count not surge to over 2 million in a mere span of time? Now, he felt confident that he could carve out a share of the low to mid-tier mech market from those Beck-Six's factories. Thus, from this day forth, he set a new objective, to restore his factory to its former glory. The first step was to generate profit and aim to establish a branch factory on Luotian Star. Shen Jiayan remained oblivious to Xiao Wang's newfound ambition, spurred by his frustration with the Beck-Six's audience. She was still enjoying skewers, munching away while observing the newly projected screen at the front of the tavern. The live stream's viewership had surpassed 2 million. Yet, The comments from the audience were not particularly flattering, and he continued to promote an automatic toothbrush instead of commencing the mech operation demonstration. Chapter 230. Beware of the burlap sack at the adjacent table. Several patrons were engrossed in a live stream, vocally expressing their frustrations akin to the viewers in the broadcast. This "Don't press my armpit hair" is truly infuriating. I hope I don't recognize him. Otherwise, even if I have to purchase my own spaceship ticket, I would fly over to throw a burlap sack over him. P.S. Clever, having donned a hood in advance. I suspect this fellow is deceiving the audience. There's no such mech, and he's merely utilizing this gimmick to draw in viewers. Is he hoping to profit from this surge of attention and then abandon live streaming altogether? Unable to restrain herself, Shun Xiaoyan interjected. He initially intended to profit from this wave of attention. Do you really think you will continue watching his streams afterward? The patrons at the nearby table were momentarily taken aback by Shun Xiaoyan's remarks. Indeed, if it weren't for the gimmick of the mech promoted by my ancestors, they wouldn't even consider watching this character S stream. In their place, they might also resort to tactics like "Don't press my armpit hair," maximizing their benefits by luring in more viewers for a quick profit before vanishing. Sitting opposite Shun Xiaoyan, Ding Qingyu lowered his voice. Cough. Xiaoyan, I believe you should promptly inform that young Master Wang to cease deceiving the audience. If this continues, the viewers will surely grow impatient and leave. Xia Xingyu nodded in agreement, adding, he wouldn't actually wait until there are 10 million viewers before demonstrating the mech operation, would he? I'm concerned that this approach might adversely affect perceptions of your mech system. Upon hearing this, Shun Xiaoyan quickly retrieved her holographic communicator to contact young Master Wang. In a low tone, she cautioned, young Master Wang, that's enough. 2 million is ample. If you persist, it may escalate. And you ought to be wary of having your information exposed. People are ready to come after you. This time, young Master Wang discarded his earlier caution, exclaiming, no. That is far from sufficient. My targets have changed. I initially aimed to sell to those in the fringe star systems. Now, I intend to reach the central regions. To Basics, to the entire alliance. You see, there are already individuals in the live chat seeking hackers to uncover your address. If you continue selling, someone might even discover your real location. Shun Xiaoyan intoned solemnly. Ah, it must be that group of competitors from Basics behind this. Such despicable and underhanded commercial tactics. Young Master Wang, still seething from his earlier indignation, hastily deflected blame. I know nothing of competitive tactics. It feels purely targeted at the armpit hair. Shun Xiaoyan sighed, taking a sip of water. Today's indulgence in rich meats had left her parched. All right. I'll remind him to commence the mech system operation immediately. It's a pity I just told him to wait until there were 10 million viewers. Impressive, exclaimed Xia Xingyu, seated to Shun Xiaoyan's left, rendered momentarily speechless. Uffed. The water Shun Xiaoyan had just sipped erupted from her mouth. She could hardly fathom young Master Wang's audacity to genuinely wait for 10 million viewers before demonstrating the mech system operation. Here is some paper. Li Shuamo, seated to Shun Xiaoyan's right, offered her a tissue. However, when she took out the paper, she leisurely tore it in half before handing over one of the pieces. Seeing her like this, Shun Xiaoyan was utterly speechless. This miser, if given more time, would surely dry up the water. By the time Shun Xiaoyan finished tidying up, the host in the live stream, "Don't press my armpit hair," finally put away the underwear that had inexplicably appeared for sale. After stuffing the undergarment back under the table, they stood up. The live stream now boasted 2.5 million viewers. I must admit, I harbor a disdain for the number 250. Yet, having promised you all, I must proceed with the mech operation once we surpass 2 million viewers. I cannot deceive people, after all. Shun Xiaoyan immediately heard a guest nearby begin to curse once more. Damn, who is this guy? Has anyone tracked down his address? How can he claim he hasn't misled anyone? If it weren't for the desire to witness the mech that my ancestor supposedly sold, I would genuinely consider reporting this live stream. Shun Xiaoyan touched the back of her head. Hence, undertaking unscrupulous acts requires discernment. One must possess the capability to engage in such misdeeds. Otherwise, the audience's patience will genuinely be exhausted. This is something she had always believed she managed well. Meanwhile, in the live stream, I Am Your Armpit Hair revealed their personal fitness information before demonstrating the mech operation. Allow me to share my personal details. I stand at 178 centimeters tall and weigh 70 kilograms. I am somewhat slender. I am not afraid of your ridicule. I once bore the nickname Skinny Monkey. Now, let me show you my freshly minted fitness assessment report. Just 2 hours ago, I underwent a fitness test for the new mech, achieving a D-grade rating. The results are authentic and reliable, conducted by an institution officially designated by the Alliance, ensuring no fraudulence. Therefore, please refrain from scolding me. My preparations are thorough, and my assessment is undoubtedly fair and impartial. Considering my personal circumstances, I can only pilot the initial generation of mechs, with advanced models remaining beyond my reach. Shun Xiaoyan overheard patrons in the tavern beginning to discuss I Am Your Armpit Hair's fitness status. A stout man at the adjacent table remarked, "My sister cannot pilot advanced mechs due to her D-grade fitness level. Her fitness data is virtually identical to what this blogger has presented. Alas, she once aspired to pursue a career in mech combat." A middle-aged man across from him could not help but sigh. I had a friend who once boasted S-grade fitness. However, after being poisoned by a beast, his fitness deteriorated to C-grade. If this operating system truly enables those with lower fitness levels to pilot advanced mechs, I would recommend it to my friend. You cannot fathom how optimistic and resilient he once was. Now, due to his declining fitness, he lives as a mere shadow of his former self. Are you referring to Luo Yuqing? He used to frequent this place for drinks. But now he avoids me like the plague, the stout man remarked, clearly familiar with the individual in question. Yes, brother Luo. Not long ago, he was swindled out of all his possessions while seeking treatment. For people like us, who have spent a lifetime intertwined with mechs, being unable to pilot one is akin to being dead. Luo Gu is a good person, indeed my guiding light. During my inaugural mission, it was he who led me. If this system operates as advertised, I would even go into debt to procure a set for him. The middle-aged man sighed and remarked, if the promotional claims regarding this mech suit are authentic, then this system has been developed for the benefit of ordinary individuals like us. Chapter 231. The greatest invention of this century, this system is remarkably affordable. Such a system endowed with unique capabilities would likely command a higher price in other star systems than an SS-Class Mech. Luo Yuqing frequently treated me to drinks, and I would contribute what little I could. The portly friend chimed in, indeed. Were it not for the efficacy of this system, why would everyone endure the discomfort of being present in this live broadcast? Who could fathom the identity of the mech engineer behind the development of this system? Shen Zhaoyan could not help but smile at their exchange. In truth, selling systems is not as lucrative as vending support gear. The armpit hair is not the first user of the damping system. Previously, it was sold to an individual named Dai Ningning, a mech soldier similarly afflicted by beastly injuries, whose physical capabilities had temporarily waned. It was due to Dai Ningning's brother that, during discussions with General Wang regarding the system's pricing, she never intended to amass wealth from the system. Aside from the exclusive complete version for affluent clients, she also permitted customization based on system levels and functionalities. General Wang had praised her for her keen understanding of her clientele. Competing in the upper echelon and high-end market was futile. Focusing on the mid to low-end market was indeed promising. Ding Qingyu, having listened to their conversation, bore a look of realization. Until now, he had not discerned the intricacies of Xiaoyan's system pricing. Beyond the classifications of D-grade piloting C-grade mechs and D-grade piloting B-grade and A-grade mechs, there were also various functional emphases across different versions. He recalled Xiaoyan mentioning that she not only allowed buyers to purchase according to their needs, but also enabled existing customers to upgrade their systems with additional components without incurring unnecessary expenses. In the live broadcast, the armpit hair had already relocated the stream to a spacious training ground to better showcase the mech system. He had positioned two cameras, one aerial tracking camera facing the mech, and another within the cockpit facing him. The armpit hair had customized a D-grade system capable of piloting an A-grade mech. As he maneuvered a D-grade mech, achieving the operational speed attainable only by an A-grade mech, the external camera faithfully documented every moment. Despite having tested the mech previously, the armpit hair could not help but fidget with the newly installed mech operation system. With fervor, he exclaimed, I have succeeded. The speed characteristic of an A-grade mech, the evasive maneuvers only achievable by an